Oh, and I'm apparently not going to update the title. There, the title's been updated properly. It's your map placement, by the way.
Oh yeah, what am I doing? Gotta be careful with the myriad placements. So I don't need Carcanos to get slammed into one of them.
Sure you do. Fine.
So that's a.
You'll like it, I promise.
Have
Oh,
some
wow.
meta coming back.
Actually pulling out the
Three blue.
SSIs.
Yeah, I mean, I want to secure UCIs. Shadow Sun and UCIs count the Shadow Suns because of the way
Yeah,
that ability becoming an action. Shadow buff UCIs. Well,
yeah, I mean, I can see that.
No.
That's the yellow.
Yeah, put them right there. That's fine. You're not gonna screen over the Toxo.
do that every single time on this map.
Okay.
Yeah, I get
Power
that.
up. I don't get really
I
much. I
kind
get
of want to
like
drop the
one.
Myriad on one of these remaining drains, and I kind of want to
One.
save a Myriad for my backline.
Lose none. Yep.
So I don't actually know what I want to drop here.
Here. Farming. It's farming simulator time.
I mean, when in doubt, Harbinger Comet Shot.
Sorry,
Right?
Yeah, but I can also just spawn those if they're not in play.
Yeah, I think it's worth even damage.
Which I guess once mine are
Yeah,
destroyed,
it's not for now.
that works for that too, huh?
You could something to think about with that with the Corgi is like a turn one
We'll crank the
insurance scam into a Harbinger shard you put in like the front or the second row, and just then if you have power, there's an empty spot like for you to move through, and you then have a Harbinger Comet shard to do Harbinger Comet things with.
Yeah, it's an idea. The issue is even with the um even with penetrator, you're still trying to hit a 6.
Because you're gonna split.
Just I mean, I'm not saying it's like a do. I think it's like a let me have this in my back pocket consideration. Although
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it without like a mole. If you're doing it with brawlers, like that's one of the reasons I'm taking Moloch Brute, is because if I need to secure reclamation, punch a building with Carnatrons, the Moloch Brute is like just the extra power to make it really
Yeah,
worth
well,
it.
I don't have good Carnatrons to do that.
You do have good chompers though, right? They get the plus. They only get the plus one when he's in hyper, don't they?
Uh,
Or
that's a good
it's.
question.
I know I get minus
No,
one when
Harbinger's Glow is alpha and hyper. So yeah, they actually do roll 3 blues. Just by
which is
default.
insane.
Yeah.
So two Carnatrons and a Moloch are rolling 8 blues into yeah, or it's only might only be 7. Because I think Moloch Brute is 1, but it's still a lot of. Are there greens left?
Wow. So yeah, Hellion and 2 Chompers under Mega Gorg is a 91 to hit a Harbinger shard. Assuming, they're next to the Harbinger shard, which they'd have to be.
And if you're trying to like really game it, just throw a dervish in there. Really even do that, But it's
True.
like again, you're spending all your white dice just to building. It's something I would you'd really have to like have a good reason to do it. I think.
Yeah. I actually kind of want to try to drop a shard right here where it's easily secured for discount. But I don't
Yeah,
actually
that's
have
another.
that much PE units. I mean, I have
So
enough, but it's not that many.
now I get a my. Do I get? It's only your comet shard, right?
Buildings are neutral,
Because your defense 7.
so I don't really see how it could know if it's your comet shard.
Oh, it is just or a comet shard.
Yeah, I'm kidding. And we're good. Alright. We get 3 reds back.
Swap the main.
Now, it is my unit, so your planet eaters don't get this benefit.
Yeah, no, sure. And I'm looking at like radiation when he's in hyper too, where I just lose one
You
boost
lose stuff
die.
for being around a comet shard, yeah.
It's just, I mean, because like the reason I was thinking it was your comet shard is because the construction yard specifies, right, your buildings.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like it would be unheard of.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, and it's Comet Crash, where it says, yes, you can replace an unoccupied debris with a comet shard you brought to play.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is hilarious, because that means you can actually turn a hazard into a comet shard.
Yeah, that's actually a really strong. It's such a strong.
That's
But
pretty strong,
Mega,
actually.
I placed another UCI.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
he's.
would you mind
So
taking that
once,
away? Because I actually didn't place anything. I thought about it, and then I put it back, and then we got distracted talking.
my go, but you can counter draft me. Oh yeah.
Sure, now it's your go. Well, neither of us really brought, things to counter draft with.
I have.
I don't know. Real tempted to do the industrial in the middle, but I'm also real tempted to just drop it next to either the UCI or the ISB. I guess you're going first, right?
Yeah, I am.
So it'd make more sense to drop it there.
I was gonna grab the power spot, but let's just hold on to the power for now. I might do a random attack. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go up to here.
Okay, your building placement.
We'll go back to here. 4. We'll go to here. We'll go here. We'll spend 1.
I kind of want to like not put my comet shard down.
I mean, I can't really force you to drop that, so.
Oh. I mean, that might be a consideration for you to pick the full 24
That's
foundation.
actually true. In the future, that might be something for me to consider.
What's hilarious is that Megagord versus Megagord is just +1, -1 for each comet shard. Right there. And oh god, I'm gonna end up. There's 2 foundations left. I can put my reclamation facility or the comet.
Yep.
Remember, no double power attack. Limited cognition.
I know.
Yeah, I kind of want to have that other comet shard in my back pocket. Just in case.
Yeah.
I believe that's your monster placement. I kind of think monster placement is one of the hardest parts of this game,
Yeah, I mean, I figure like, especially when they're as slow as, these our pairings are.
Yeah. Well, it's like I could place Zaxor here because he has high mobility, but then if I'm placing Megagord here, I'm still going to have to give up the diagonal going through there. And if I place him over here, it's just going to be hard for him to get into the middle if he needs to.
Yeah. Within 2 or 3, that's the end. Holy.
What do you mean?
Little. Well, within 2, okay.
Yeah, within 2 of this model or a shard.
Yeah. I like how much bigger Gorgadra is than the Axor.
there. Keep going. Do whatever you want. Yep. And I'll change health. Just pause when you're ready.
And we're gonna hold one white.
Oh, so actually,
Yeah,
stop it
I kind
there.
of feel like in the actual,
I split
you know,
because I was at 11. I took 4.
in real life,
which would be a split.
Zactor's
4.
bigger or
So
feels
I'll
bigger
update
just
health in a
because
second.
he's got that
Do your
giant frill.
Yeah, they're pretty similar in size though. So are we clocking?
I have no problem with it.
It was your
I guess
turn.
Oh,
you're
wait,
ready,
I did
right?
that.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
I did. You just told me to pause your clock.
I said I'm doing a split. It's going back to you. You
I'm
gotta.
trying some
Alright, go.
standard.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, no, hold on. I'm sorry. I thought you said you wanted me to pause the
You
clock and
just
change the
need.
health.
No, I'm gonna do that at the very,
Okay.
end. Yeah. So.
Ready?
Yep. I'm gonna do that.
I mean, that only cost you one, right?
Yep, I'm putting another one out.
I assumed, but
We're gonna power up. You're gonna get
since you
1.
hadn't grabbed it yet, I wasn't
3.
100% certain.
Yep, 4. And then no one loses any. Because I already lost the one initially. Okay, so we're gonna go down 3.
Mhm.
And then we're just gonna go. You're at 4 health, right?
Mhm.
Is brawl, yeah, it was.
Oh man, I should have switched
Okay.
the
Oh,
shard in the
oh,
rec
but I have to.
facility.
Yeah, shit. Okay. We're gonna throw.
Oh well.
I'm at 3.
I kind of think I should have gone ahead and just had a fourth shard.
Throw.
Yep.
I don't know what building to drop
Keep.
for it, but probably a high rise.
Yep.
Yep, for fire. So he is dead. Give back 1. And then we're gonna punch.
Mhm.
I was so hoping to do a SWAT and then step in and force a.
But that's a power.
I know. I realized I'm like.
Pick out here.
It's not a big
You
power,
walk
but it's a
to
power
here.
nonetheless. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah, this
6.
map isn't necessarily great for.
I used the power so I get
1.
Abrogator.
And I already used a lot of my power on this, but we're just gonna dump, I think, like a ton.
What
Defense
about
6.
ISB? Like, do I just
Yes.
take
1, 2,
take
3.
your ISB from my ISB?
That's
What
on
am I
George.
even doing?
Yep, down to 3.
Sorry, yes.
And ready?
Spawn.
Powering up for 1, 2, and you lose 1.
Mind if I
Yeah,
spawn
the
a
yes.
Yep.
robo? I
Alright,
have
1,
space
2,
over here.
3. Powering up for 3.
Yep.
I don't even use this point.
Moving up 1. Just body slamming.
Sounds good.
We get blues now. We get 6 blues. To hit 7s.
Yep.
We're good?
Yep.
Plate. I've not played on this map.
And onto you. Ready?
Yep. Power up for.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh, I killed my guy who's securing. 1, 2, 3.
Yep. You lost the power, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and I'm not sure what I want to do here.
Okay.
Yeah, I see 3.
Like, because I guess it's my turn now, huh?
Just gonna go
Yep.
to here. We're gonna SWAT. Actually, no,
So I guess kind of like you, I'll take these things.
Yeah, I'm just gonna punch. Yep.
Okay.
Do a damage to your 2. I'm gonna pass you.
Okay. Isn't
But
he just low
then
health?
it's a question of
Correct,
what
he's
I
low
want
health.
to do
Spawning 1 for a
in
scorcher.
terms of attacks
So you're down to 2 health.
Yep.
and other things.
It's your turn. I'm at 2 health, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. We're just gonna go and push everything aside. We're gonna ignite and kill the glob.
Alright.
And we're just moving there to there. And that's it. Ready?
Yep. Ah, step.
Yes, I can do
How can we not get there?
that.
Because he was what, here? You maybe step here.
And take a damage.
No, you can't get
Couldn't
there.
have.
Yeah, I should just throw.
Do the
Nah.
chomper over there. I guess it doesn't really matter. Struck Knight
I
there.
honestly didn't think I was gonna win that one.
There.
Oh my gosh. This list makes my head hurt so much. So yeah, that's pretty much the glob. The
If you don't
Gorz
mind,
versus
we're gonna
Logan's not mirror.
Yeah, that's fine.
Which
Whatever
is
you need
a
to do.
do a
headache because both lists take
push
so much
here
time
with
to
the
think about
chomper.
because of all the different opportunities you bring
Then
to
we'll just,
Toxos, as you can tell.
oh, no, we're not
And
securing the
we
myriad.
both just
It
didn't
doesn't matter.
know where to throw or how to plan. There could have been a lot more jank going on, but because we're trying to think, both of us on each end, on where to put our Toxos or where are viable viable spots that we can try and future plan, it took up way too much of our time, and we just got down to clock. I think we were both right in just targeting Sling Loser because he is the bigger threat. Because if technically either of us targeted Glob first, it's a 3v1.
Okay,
None
let's
of us can deal with
see
it.
how this goes.
A
One,
mirror
two,
match like this is going
three.
to be tough,
One,
but like
two.
putting a Snot and Booger into other pairings is
One,
fun
two,
because
three,
you try
four,
and bait
five, six,
Globicus into getting hit
seven.
first so that you are going into the
Because
3v2.
All-Terrain and Industrial.
And it's just like because
One,
like
two,
if the
three,
smog building
four,
was still up, or
five,
if we
six.
kept using Bastion
One,
landing
two,
more,
three, four,
Toxos would have
five,
just been switching
six,
places all over the place.
7
Don't forget.
because
I also learned
Megagorg also has
where
Stampede.
you
Yeah, I was gonna say,
bring
don't forget
Ally
Stampede. Literally about to
suddenly.
say that.
That's a new one for me, and glad I know
Uh,
now.
oh wait, I'm gonna have
Ay
him
ay
stop
ay, ay
there.
caramba.
Oh, what?
So yeah, we'll have a Chomper try to eat the Robo
I
Brontok
don't think
first.
we're doing
What? You
another
gotta hit a
game,
4?
or not. I think we're just gonna be
3.
chatting about the
Destruct might.
game for after
Oh, yeah.
party
Ah, darn.
and whatnot.
Well,
That is,
Oh gosh.
yeah,
nope.
the other one's gonna try to eat the Uberjet.
Yeah.
Things I would do
I mean, Force
differently.
Field doesn't really help
Things I would
against
like to change on
No.
my list.
So
shots, but
yeah, that's a dead
Oh
Uberjet.
man, I have no
Darn, I was
idea
hoping
because
to have
like I
4,
kind
and
of
then
like Toxos, but at
I
the
would
same
feel
time
much
I
better
wouldn't
about using the UCI.
because having these two, the
Uh,
Spitter and the Scorcher
question
in
is, do I
team, it's just
UCI
it's nice for
anyway?
those the just in case scenarios for the fact that there's so much rubble
You
everywhere, and
know,
just like
I
for this
really
map,
do kind
it
of
helped
want to
because
have the
I was able to get that damage on easily.
ISB, I
Would
think.
you
So I'm
change
going to
anything
use
on
the
your
I and
list, or
switch
you
it with
still?
the
It was
ISB.
pretty fun. I just
Yeah.
misspoke
pretty
again.
funny.
It was a
Yeah,
good
I
Yeah,
game.
know, right?
I accidentally said
I think Megagord really wants an ISB.
fire.
That way, if there's not a comment card where he needs it,
Yeah, I
he
think
can
it's better
still
to
get it.
have the
I
Oh.
misspoke.
ISB than the UCI.
Well, in
Yeah,
that case, it's your
it'll be
list.
So
cheaper than
pass turn over to you.
Yeah, I
That's
misspoke. I'm like,
powering up
because
for
I
only
lined up this
3
instead. I'm like,
instead.
oh, brawl. And I'm like, wait, why didn't I throw just do the 2 to 1? Because that's my plan. I'm like,
One,
wait,
two, three. Yep,
that's it.
what I count.
So
it's rough. I That's the thing about this list I love and hate.
You're
It's another
technically
conquer,
getting the
but like if
downtown
you
high.
can pull off your plans, it's so rewarding.
Yeah, I
It's
mean that was.
I'm
I
not
don't
gonna lie.
expect to
In
secure it
terms
at
of
the
this
end of
game,
this turn, but I was
I
hoping
honestly have
to
no plan. Like
strongly
other games I
encourage
have
you to have
plans
to
where I can see where
deal
I
with
can
it.
go. This one is just so tough because I'm going against a
You know, I was
mirror match.
expecting to, or I
With
was
this
hoping to
many
have
toxins
3
I have
dice
to
at the
work
end of
with
all
right
this.
now. So the game,
One
it's funny. I thought the game would
one
move a lot
3 into a
move a
3 is
lot
not
faster
great
once we had
odds, but it's
tacos on the board.
better than 50-50. So
Our feed is pretty decent though,
the
right?
feed's fine.
yeah, it's
Actually,
a
the
67.
the upload rate's pretty solid too.
Hmm.
But it just, I don't know if it's just on your end here.
I don't know. My phone just reloaded, so I'm good on that.
And I plugged in the Ethernet. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I got the cable hanging.
Yeah. The cable cover should be coming, so we can do it on the floor.
Or whatever the hell his ability is called. Rocket Boost, Rocket Boot.
I don't know. Like I feel like
Um,
this is every list I played, and I've played with what is this only 5 Toxos? Yeah, this is only
I wish
yeah
I had
5
Maggie to
Toxos.
jam that,
I've
but I
always found
don't. So
myself needing just that one last one
I don't think it's necessary.
for 6.
Nah, I think 5's fine. 6 only happened because this is the rare case that you're like, if you face an onslaught monster or something that punches you twice,
Mm-hmm.
but if your entire list building is like, oh, I'm gonna be facing something that punches me twice, you're already getting max value out of grab it anyway for the most part. So like, it's kind of redundant. Like the extra glob, the extra little toxo doesn't do anything. I don't think.
I I didn't get to play as much jank as I want to. I only got one jank turn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we didn't even use Bastion, and like
I tried to. There was one turn that I wanted to, and I could have, but it just wasn't valuable. I
I
did Myriad swap.
I don't know how I feel about this pairing of beatdown, but
It's not good.
that could be it's the mirror, but
I mean, it's not horrible because you can play kind of cagey on this map.
I'm not a fan of
River's better, I think.
how open
I'm
these
gonna
areas
Well,
are.
that's
split my.
why you do have. I mean, the strength of the list is that you have 2 range 5 guns. So
Right.
you just camp in that corner
Mhm.
here and just keep sending Sling up and just keep hitting the back line and running away.
Yeah.
That's why I bring Monpoc Berserker
Mhm.
into, not for him, primarily for Percy.
Yeah.
And stop Percy shooting turn 1.
I
Or
need to
anything you're shooting turn 1.
need to learn how to use the tuner like you do. I did not spawn in once this game.
Yeah, tuner. I love the tuner
Yeah.
units list.
I've
I don't think there's a single thing I'd change my unit list. I think I used every. The abrogators are actually. That's why I almost ran one abrogator. Like I don't particularly. I don't want to say I don't like them. I think they're really good. It's just in this list, it's like I want to prioritize other things.
yeah. I mean, for me, I got my
Yeah,
use
I
out
feel
of
like
them
that would be
every turn
Yeah.
almost.
really big of a
Because I spawned two abrogators in the beginning as
too big
first
of an
turn.
overload.
Not well, technically I should be doing that as second turn player, but even first
But
turn,
you
just
would be
having
powering
one
up to
already wouldn't have
0.
done me justice.
Mhm.
And I think
Eh,
I might do what you do.
I'm gonna
I might
shoot the
go tax. I need
poker
some
chomper.
One
mobility.
speed six.
Yeah.
Well, and actually, that's why I like the Montfort. High mobility speed five.
4, yep.
So it is
And
still
you
a high
can't shoot
mobility.
him,
And he's
so
got
that
explosion,
actually kind
so
of shuts off a.
take the
Oh,
other
I
one.
forgot bomb sling.
I mean, you're not trying to target a
Just like
lower tier
like
monster,
when in
right?
cases where he was here, I couldn't really.
Sure, but you're not packing in a list against like one monster you usually won't see. Against like Percy, it makes sense. Percy's everywhere. Stopping
Yeah.
that against Percy's sweet.
Or any monster that like
Range
bases
five gun.
I
just
just
bases their
realized I had my
war
mute on.
like
Guns. Yeah,
which is
and
like
guns are
Phobos
everywhere.
or
I think that's Brian.
Rover.
That's
Guns. Well, no, because he's just gonna shoot
Okay.
a bullet next to you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's literally anything that has a range
Well,
five
I
gun.
power up
It
for
stops that. Essentially.
2.
I don't know. The only thing I didn't use
I was
personally was
debating on if it was worth it to like
I think it was
shove Karkanos all the way up there and try to ram the industrial.
Yeah.
Destructomite. That's really it.
Oh, I love
Okay, so with the
Destructomite in
way
this list.
you
Because I
move,
was debating on
kinda
spending
think
units to
I
spawn
just
around Kark and
do,
get point of damage.
is that
So I already have
1,
two
I
elites and a grunt, so I can spawn down
four,
the grunt or the
5,
dervish, or not dervish, the
7,
destructomite in attack.
see. I think I'm still keeping the combo of the spitter scorcher. They
there.
just come up. There's a
Yeah,
time when you need them. You're always gonna need them.
I want to
it's
see
hard against
something.
this
If
list
you were to,
to pull off.
Yeah. I mean,
that you could rocket forward.
for you it was.
You're standing on top of
No,
a
it's just this
I
map.
know,
I hate
I'm
Well,
this
the
map.
problem is that like
just
yeah,
looking to
the
see
white
if I were to
there's also
end right here,
dervishes
could you
that
get
give you
behind
more
Zaxor?
travels,
And I don't
and
think
I
you
feel like they
can.
already have the toxins down as a resource, so
probably
they're gonna
not
have
with the
better
dice I have.
abilities than what a scorcher would be. But there is benefits of like if you
Yes, I
are
kind of
behind the
think
unit gauge, you can
I might just go ahead
scorch
and
there and get the
Mhm.
kill.
do this, where I
Well,
kill the
to be
Brontok,
fair,
and
I really wouldn't base much off of this list
uh,
because there's
I
so
don't
many
know what
different
I do with
possibilities for
Brontok
what
here.
monsters to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I was
I mean, that's
thinking
why I
I'd
still like the spitter and
bought it into
Yeah, but
something, but I guess
it's a
the
commitment.
Rectolite would be the
it's
only
only
option.
what? What is that?
Four whites.
More than
Don't
that.
want to spend that much
Yeah,
on
one spawn, two for the ignite.
And one for the cleanup.
it. I mean, I could just do a YOLO
And
type
repair.
thing.
Assuming that
Yeah.
they're incombustible, so that's five. A dervish,
Well, and I can also
destructomite,
do just
double
5.
the dervish would be. What would be? Is that four? No, you would want. It's like one extra action die to pull it off.
I mean, it still doesn't hurt having the exhaust for just
Hmm.
healing purposes too.
Because that would
Yeah,
be
he only has
three.
3 blues, and Harbinger's Glow does
You
not
get double
affect
momentum actually,
himself,
so you
which
don't want the
kind of
dervish. You
sucks.
just want like another
Yeah, I think it's
boost.
a balancing.
So elite
Yeah, I think
Probably,
that's
but
like
with
yeah,
3
I agree.
blues, I feel like that would only take him up to 4, and so that would be
I'm not
balanced
bringing the
enough.
chomper unless you like if you're basing off
Especially when you
distance.
look
Like
at
one of the
something like
units that's gonna win
Hurricaneous, which is
Toxo would be
just
second
Yeah.
elite option, so it'd be
Mhm.
destructomite elite Toxo,
ridiculous.
and that. Or if you have like an extra elite
Okay,
that
so
I mean,
let's try
I
it. We'll
was
swap
debating with
the
this list, like just switching
Brontox
up the
and
Toxos where I have three elites
probably
and
try to put
two
it into
grunts.
the Rex facility.
I was debate. I'm still not
Definitely hit the Brontox.
sure. I'm still iffy.
You do lose a
In
power
best
die
case
because of
scenario,
intense.
I would go with
Ah, I
that.
forgot
Exactly.
about
That's
that.
kind
I
of
also
what I
gained
thought
one
too.
from killing the Brontox.
Well, you force yourself to
Yep.
spawn two,
So
and then you
evens
don't
out.
touch until gravity.
And I
Yeah.
definitely
Because
killed the Rex
in this case
facility.
scenario, it made sense because you hit me twice. So.
So I gain
Like
a
yeah,
net
because like
of
the average
2.
amount too is getting five down. Like that's why I like
Mhm.
five over six so much because like five is usually
And
this is a very
step
unique
forward
case
1.
where we're pinging each other for one each time
Mhm.
the entire game.
Yeah, and for it's just for my case, like every time I've
Do I
played
want to
Sling
step
Loser
forward
and I've run the
2?
five split of the five Toxos, I've always just ran out
Or 2?
where I just needed one more, two more,
Yeah,
but
it's just that you're giving up
5,
more tech
yeah,
space. I would rather have more
6,
tech space
step,
than even
step.
have Gravid proc.
yeah.
Because to be fair, if you're having
You'd have
more
to pay
Gravid
2 to step, you'd have to pay for the ram, but you'd have 8 dice total. You'd be
you'll
getting
always
2
have
back.
Gravid firing off.
So I
So
probably don't want to leave
you don't
myself
want to
lined
grab
up
it
for a double.
anyway if you know that you like if your opponent's gonna play you. You're like, oh, well, I'm gonna grab it here, and then you're like, okay,
7,
well, then the following turn you have nothing,
and
so now you
forward
need to kill
1.
me.
Not
It's
Like
just
that's the
really a
it's
bad
so weird
thing
sometimes because
here.
like there are cases where you just want to grab it just to have him somewhere, just in case
Yep.
if you want to bash on
Zax
him.
or
Well, it's
step
all about
forward
like
too.
resource conservation, right? Because if you
Yeah.
have like two in your pool, that's where it gets like really sketchy.
And
If
in
you have
that
three
way,
there, I think that's the
I'm
comfort
keeping myself
level
screened off.
is going to be
I think
location.
my mistake here was continuously shooting the thing that
And
was
I'll
going to
go
set
ahead and
off my
push the
triple
last
and
and
using
say
my
your turn.
toxos here, because now technically I had 2 elite toxos that weren't
That weren't
going
doing anything.
anywhere.
Yep.
I should have just left it to the
Mm-hmm.
units and just kept on shooting something
Those
else.
toxins were completely useless.
I
The whole
I
time.
still think I
you.
think I like the power, or just one power
Okay.
plant.
Yeah, the power plant was pretty solid.
It
Okay.
allows me to put the one power plant in the one spot that I can still grab it, or not grab it, but shoot, or
Yeah.
even I don't even need to shoot with slingers, or just shoot in general to
Yeah.
try and just need a spawn.
I'm debating on
Power
slowing
Gorge
down and
playing in the
grabbing
background, so
first. Like I'm still
anyone watching the
really
stream is
pushing for it.
also
I'm personally stuck on
very
2,
softly
just because
hearing Nick
I
and
see
Mimi
more 2 than
talking
you do,
about their game.
because
Yeah.
I spawn them more frequently.
Yeah. Maybe.
I still think 2 jurors, because
Well, no. Yeah. Well, it's kind of like even two jars is kind of weird too right now.
only reason why I say 2 jurors
I mean, you
is
could. I mean, River City.
an obliteration.
Yeah. Or like yeah. I guess you have a couple of
This
bases.
map doesn't really
This map doesn't
benefit
I
really
mean, I kind of
that
had to
too.
just make
Well,
this
unless you like
as hard as
do
possible
stuff
for you to
like
come in,
Yeah,
right?
but you
you
saw
do
how
that.
easy.
Yeah, I mean, definitely is.
Well, if you put a crawler in that spawn point and just sit there,
Yeah,
that's a lot
yeah.
harder for the SWAT. That
And it's
really
like
you can't SWAT. It has to be a
Mhm.
flame. So there's no way of doing that. Granted, like in this matchup, it's
3
horrible because
steps,
It doesn't
you
matter.
have Glob who just punches you through
or
everything.
Or
3 dice
condo.
rolls of stuff.
Well,
So,
opposite this matchup.
I'm sorry. I'm just talking about any
No,
I was talking about
no.
monster with.
This matchup, you also have Sling who just shoots the crawler and
I
punches you in the
I have
face.
to rocket
So two ways it kind of sucks.
rocket boots.
Besides Glob and
I
Condo, is
call it
there anyone
rocket
that
boots all the
has
time.
Demolisher?
Yeah.
Cybanos.
Wait, Dijon?
There.
Sorry, not Demolisher. Demolition.
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 4.
Cybanos has Demolition.
I know Roxor has it on his gun.
That's Devastation.
Oh.
Demolition's the punch variant. Cybanos is the only one I could think of off the top of my head. Unless, like, one of the brand new Apexes have it and I didn't, like, catch it.
I
I don't think
don't
they
think so.
do.
Not that I've read.
None of the Zors. Yeah,
Oh,
besides Kondo, too. Like, Kondo and
okay,
Cybanos and Glob, I
nice.
think are working.
Away.
I don't think there is. None of the Urks have it. None of the, like, the Green Fury. None
No
of the
Tritons. No
Trit.
Elementals.
Yeah, none Elementals. No Guards.
Hmm.
Say, I don't
Hmm.
think you can ram the
Just
UCI and come in to attack
Cybanos.
me.
Yeah, I don't have enough
For
dice to
some
do
reason,
it.
I'm like floating towards Gorgadra
You
having
could
it. These
No.
teams are
ram the
Can't
high
do that
rise and
yet.
come in to attack me, or
sure.
brawl the high
Well,
rise and
that's
come
the
in to
that's
attack me.
demolition. Yeah, Zybanos is the wacky one.
Yeah.
He's the one that nobody really
Nobody plays.
fuck
The
plays.
dragons are
But
such a disappointment except for claws.
oh yeah,
Coolest looking. Just only one of them's playable.
Dragon Gauss is cool stuff.
You do your movement stuff. I'm going to
But
the
they're
bathroom.
cool looking.
Oh, two of them are. Two out of three. Brass not looks like shit.
Really? I actually kind of like Ross.
You stand alone.
Oh, okay.
you, or you stand with very few.
Oh, okay. I wonder if they're getting a fourth, right?
They never announced anything yet.
Uh.
Then again, they're not. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're considered a mainline faction. They're not a triple faction. They have two unipacks.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah, they have two unipacks.
Yeah.
So let's say like they have three unipacks. When like, wait, I don't think they have three unipacks.
I don't have the button.
For the raise up, raise down.
Down. Yes.
Yeah, it's so weird that you have no.
Down.
The only thing you can notice on the
Is
camera
it shaking?
is just shaking, but the table's lifting up and down. Yeah.
Oh, I wanted it down so I could rest my arms.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Thank you. Alright, that's good. Oh boy.
Well, nice thing with packing for tomorrow is it should just be this.
I'm still iffy about the outreach center.
I don't think Outreach Center is good in this list.
I kind of want
I
it
think
I want to replace it with the guard building.
I like you already have Myriad and you already have Bastion Lander. I think going three is a little much.
I
Like
like
I think it's
Smog.
too much.
I'm not getting rid of Smog.
Smog's fine. I think Smog's perfectly. It actually gives you game on this map a little bit more. But yeah, I think Outreach is just
Okay, so did you
it's
figure out your
absolutely
movement?
too much. Like sure, it could be
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. I just
It's
paused
literally
to
just
Why not?
it's It's a
just using
backup
that.
to the
Okay,
backup
so
to the backup.
Karkanos is
Myriad
throwing a
I
punch in the
think would play
downtown.
the same role.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
Granted, you do get to
Let's
swap
see if I
on
can hit
top of it
six
for
with
like
this
aggro
dice.
hitters and stuff. That is the
Nope.
benefit of it. But
Not on that attack.
I don't know. I think Myriad, like, you keep it
I
in your
mean,
back
that could
line while
happen, right?
securing it, and then
It could have.
threaten with the
Move
swaps
the
more.
literal thing
3,
is just for
Oh,
me.
okay.
It's just
Yeah, I see what's
monsters
happening.
Well, you're doing
for units
what's four,
for units in the reserve,
but it's four.
and then for units
That's
out
the
of
problem.
play.
It's four gimmicky buildings, and I
Yeah.
think it's too much. Like,
I
that's
mean,
why when I'm doing it, I'm only doing
getting back 3
one or two.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually just doing the two. I'm not even doing the third.
The thing is, I see most use out of these two, so these are not
Which is
getting
why I
nerfed.
was
for the
like,
land.
keep these two, because
Does
like
that
this is
hit?
just you keep in your
Oh, yeah.
back line, and you just
And
keep.
and you get
Which
discounts
is
and
why I
whatever.
wanted to run two of them,
Does damage
because
to
you get
both
one in your back
sword,
line, one midfield,
kills the
Um,
building,
one like you put one here,
and
you
yeah.
kills
go
the
first,
increment.
so you're allowed to walk through.
Yeah.
Glob has
Let's
free
say
reign
it doesn't
now,
hit
which is
Zactor, and then I
why
was
I
like, oh
think
wait,
going
start
first on
there.
going
Yeah, it
second
hits
on this
that.
map with your list is not favorable. But if you go first on it, it's good, because then you
Good
just drop
stuff.
this here to start, and now Glob can literally
So
start
Robo
her
takes a
effective
damage.
here,
Not
do sling.
no.
I think
He has
sling Glob
flight.
here is the best start.
Oh, he does, doesn't he?
That's where I
Right,
did
unless
start.
you don't
You
grapplers.
did.
Oh no, I started on the opposite side.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yours is fine, but
And
like
then I throw
Sling Glob
you
here
if I
could do
can.
the same thing where it could do the
Yep,
steps
nope.
down.
I was thinking
Like
you needed 8
starting
to
Glob here and
throw me
starting Glob
over there.
here are the same thing, right?
Looks
They're
like it
just the
hit.
step diagonal ones
Damn.
to start, and you're doing it's literally the same movement, right?
Yeah, I
But
would
if
have
you put
rolled
Sling here,
less power
you threaten
dice.
the corner better, which forces them to
Yeah,
use
if
that
it
side.
was
So if you
so I get that
let them, if you dump
4.
crap into that side and you let them have that side, then
Okay,
you send
so
Sling over here.
5,
Yeah,
so I'm
because I
now
guess in the matter of
hyper.
fact is depending on the switch,
Yeah,
it depends
that's
on are you gonna spend
something
Glob
that's
to
a
do
little scary.
Demolisher or are you
And
gonna
I
spend
think
Sling to just
It's
But it's
fine.
yeah, and it's the same cost,
I
yeah.
right?
can just
Like,
rocket
and
boost
I think
now.
Sling
I haven't
Boost
rocket
opens up a
boost.
lot, and especially if you go first
1,
on this map, because you could
2,
dump this
3,
here, and you're like, well, now
4.
like the following
All
turn,
right,
I can walk through this and still have
Mhm.
access to that side of the field.
and that is
Right.
me.
And that's why I want two of them too. So if you could dump a second one, you have like a lot of open area to walk through with Glob.
Mhm.
Like I think it's like really odd that Sling almost wants to play
Grappler
runner and
is such a
pistol,
bullshit.
like this pairing, because you're like, oh,
It is.
I want these
I really want to try the Carpenter's Magistrate
these don't
pairing just
produce that,
because of
but they're actually
Yeah.
good with them because like okay, well, what if you throw them on top?
double grappler seems
You know,
like
they throw you here.
disgusting. I don't know how either of them 1v1,
Well,
but
now that doesn't produce
Yeah.
anything. It literally plays the same role as a Tokyo Triumph does,
Mhm.
Yeah, I know what you
for all
mean.
intents and purposes.
Yeah.
The only
Hmm.
downside is you don't get absorb off of it, but really, how often are you absorbing?
It's not
Very
the.
occasionally, but
But
not.
for me, it's not the absorb back. It's the ignite back too.
And that's kind of
Yeah.
where you have to like.
Draw the
How many?
line
We
of.
have two of these, right, or
Yeah.
three?
I think we'll do a
Do you plan on
crawler
running two?
there.
No, you can
Or
take the
sorry,
other
two.
one.
I might run a second
You can take the other one.
because I'm a little. I like having this building just period.
Mhm.
But I don't know what I'll. The guard base I kind of want to keep, but I'm a little like. I might dump a Tokyo Triumph and go two Tokyos, two of these
If you're
instead.
gonna dump the Tokyo, I might
You're
take that
there.
twisted.
The Tokyo.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
I don't think I want the guard building. I think I just want 3 Tokyos.
because I think the Myriad fills the same role as a
I
Tokyo, but
want
it
to
just kind of
place the
like
high rise, but I also don't
trades the
think
healing
I
for
can
like a
afford
little bit
to
more
replace the high
utility to
rise
him move around the board.
Mhm.
with the
But I'm still kind of
atomic
floating that
shard.
idea. I'm not exactly
yeah,
sure.
you're a
Yeah.
unit.
Because on this map, I think the
I
biggest
am on a
thing
unit
was
turn.
getting
You're
this
hard
piece of
into a
shit
unit
into the
Well,
back
turn.
UCI is
spot.
the most. I
Uh,
think UCI is the most important building in this list.
Yeah. Which literally is why I put it in the back spot because
Yeah.
this spot is almost the last thing you get to.
Yep.
oh no, I
In
think I
that
can
case, they
totally
play your
And
side.
and mind you, I
stand to
really
replace
like
that high
Vanguard.
rise.
I didn't use it as much as I probably should have
Yeah.
You
to
didn't
keep
secure
dumping.
it. No, you used it for
I
what
think
you
that was
needed, and
my
you
high
didn't really
rise.
need to do anything.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
one of
but
them a
literally,
year,
like,
one of
I
them
just really usually
2
go
a
like
year.
Ponyard for like your
Not
Uh,
super
Vanguard build,
important right now
unless you
since
just
neither of us
want
has
to
a
make it
No,
con
really
yet.
awkward because then like
I
my
am
Ponyard
going
builds are kind of
to pull
useless.
the
Like you
other
kill the Ponyard,
harbinger off
I mean,
just
you could
so
have
that we can
retrofitted for your UCI back.
I could have,
visually
yeah, and that's
see
kind of
that
what
the
I like about it. Because
Yeah,
if you destroyed UCI, I can
just
always
in
just swap back to
right.
something. Because it
Yeah.
plays a gotcha thing too. So
Mhm.
like, it does have that
um
hidden value to
We
it.
didn't use this piece of shit at all.
hmm.
Well, I mean, it's literally like, okay, if they take my UCI, then I can at
Yeah.
least ISB for something
I
useful.
mean,
Looking
not only
at
that,
my
it's just like
rules,
for
maybe I
Artemis
can't
that we played with.
Yeah.
do that.
What's there to take?
I mean,
Really?
if you assume that media dies, I still think you keep the ISBs in the list.
No, I still like. I just didn't have a chance to. I like
Yeah.
switching, having it to switch around my back
Yeah.
line, not like in the middle. Just switching back lines for when I need it.
Yeah. It's still just a good tool, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, because if you take that, I'm just trying to see what I'm building.
Our
Here.
loadout
Okay,
screen.
no, I think fine.
Yeah. So if I
I
take
think I
that,
can
oh
make
no,
that
I'm
work.
not taking that from you, but I'm just
If I need to. Question of what else I do.
Are we gonna try and make the booger snot into the top rounds?
Could try to.
Try is a good word.
Gotta make sure I bring assets because you don't bring a con yard, do you?
No, I don't. I don't know.
Do a quick
I'm having a
push
tough
it
time
for.
convincing to con yard.
Con yard's so good.
I know it's so good. It's just like I don't.
Especially in a faction that has
Want to
fucking
push it for an
motors.
I
abrogator,
just
but I
don't like the
don't
building
push
in
it
general
for an
because I
abrogator.
hate that it's metal and I.
I think we'll just push it
I
for.
also just love in destroyers too because you don't have
The
well,
-1s that I'm
Jupiter
just
and
getting
Light is
over
good
on this side of the
facilitators,
board
right?
right
When
now.
Torus is off. But
Mhm.
like for the longest time,
Yeah.
you guys really had no way of like jump screening.
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna
just having
assume that those don't
good
stack,
narrative
much
movement
like
is super important.
No. It would be the
like
same rule.
And also being
Same named
yeah.
rule, so it
fucking
wouldn't
nice to
stack.
just roll 8 boost die with sling. That'd be cool. 8 boost would be pretty neat.
Okay, well
Really
now I can
funny.
do an abrogator
I know Mount Terra is still good.
for
It's
a
just like
discount.
No, oh my god, Mount Terra's fucking sweet. The problem, the way you have to treat the list is like this is
Well,
your
he has
anchor,
rapid
and
fire
all the rest
too,
of it's your
I
tech boost.
do.
your bread and
Like you
butter.
saw, it saved Sling though,
and
Yeah.
power gorgon
meaning
blast. So
Fatal.
And of
yeah.
course,
Uh huh.
Well,
was
right, yeah,
able to
like
Sure, we'll do a
instigate on Sling
chomper over there
yeah,
because why the
I
hell?
think Mount Terra is almost like a must-have
Yeah.
almost.
I mean, a lot of things are
Actually,
must-haves. It's just
no.
any
There's a
movement
reason
thing is a
to
It's a
must-have
must-have.
do
still,
a facilitator over there
because it just saves you.
2 Myriads is weird
because you don't really have the
because the
stuff
one would be
out
backline,
for
one
me
would
to
be
I think
attack.
two myriads is
So
fine. I've seen people play actually only two
facilitator
myriads. Mostly
does
never
not
just
have high
one.
mobility.
well,
I
it's
don't
not
have
like
Percy
at
this
that
time,
point, like I'm just debating if the Tokyos
so I
become
don't think I can use
media
the
then.
facilitator the way I wanted to.
Just two media though. Like not doing the agree like
So we
just
will
to
do a
cover
chomper there.
like critical spots rather than do the full coverage because I'm debating on like
I
how
mean, at that point, yeah,
valuable.
because
Uh,
if the point because if you're not using them for the point of ignite or
chomper
for
can't
healing,
walk
you might as well
through
just like
that
You
unless
can't
I
heal.
switch
hmm,
it.
You can't heal off of them.
absorb.
Oh, sorry, sorry.
That
Oh,
actually
yeah,
doesn't
my
I'm
bad. I
talking
thought.
retire.
for the pairing.
Yeah,
For the pairing.
I'm gonna
Not in
return
general.
my
punch.
spawn
That's
phase
For
what
the
I'm
and
talking
pairing
about.
in
think
general.
about this some more.
I mean, the list has more incombustible though. Like packing 4 incombustible
And I could
buildings
get
is
a
kind of
Hellion there
nice.
without any issues.
That's the
Alternatively,
one
I
thing
guess
I'm
I
like
could just
super
push.
iffy with this
It's
list.
it's all dependence of how you want to play it, really.
Well, because it does give you more grab at options though. And I think that's the one thing you
Yeah.
really need to play.
There you
Well, the number one rule of playing Sling
that.
User,
Wow,
besides
that
don't run
chomper
out of
actually works
Toxos, is
there.
never line up with the fucking building.
Nope.
Never, unless it's a Myriad.
Sure, I guess we
Then
can
go
push
right ahead.
this chomper.
But never
Oh,
line with the
yeah.
building.
Wait, what do you mean? Unless it's a myriad.
Oh, because if they like ram it into you, you
Hmm.
can still put a Toxo there.
Oh, right.
Right, but if you
Right,
if,
right,
if
right.
it's a
For
normal
And no, I
building, it's
guess
like,
we'll
well,
do
I can't
another
put a Toxo on
chomper.
fire.
2, 3, 4, one for
Gorgas is
the
incombustible. You can
industrial,
get away
one
with it,
for
but
Gorg.
normally it's better just to offset yourself always by one, so you can
hmm
drop
Wait, do
that
I
in
still
other
have that
spots.
Makes
ability?
sense.
Which I mean,
Which
I
one?
don't think there's a single build that
The
lets you
one
do
that
that.
gives +1 speed. No,
Where
I
you're
lost
able to put
damn
No, he
I.
loses. I think
heavy.
that's the only thing he
People
Well,
loses.
play.
Sling
It
doesn't, and
is,
I
so I
think it's
need
mostly
to
that he doesn't
rethink
intending
that
you to go in,
turn.
and I just had to swing back and
Or I
just
need to
deal with it.
rethink
Like
my
it was
whole
just
unit turn.
that had to happen.
Damn, sorry.
So you're fine.
It's just rough with the mirror match because like it's it's so hard to plan because you're essentially
Okay.
planning your own thing because you're
5,
overthinking is like
6. I
too
mean, I
many
guess a chomper can
possibilities.
still reach that
Yeah,
point. So we
it's
can do a
weird
chomper over there.
too, especially with going
We can do the same,
second on. Well, the issue is I should never be a
your
fan of going second first off, but
Twix
it's good to
and
know
push
because
some,
the
push the
issue that
Twix
can
with
kind of
something.
happen is like
Let
assuming that you
that
play
be the
a heavy
crawler.
build, you locked out in the corners. I maybe got a con yarn and another decent building.
Now we
Although
can
you
do
would
an
out tempo my con yarn,
abrogator.
right? Because you would drop
I guess
media, or so
we do
you would put
there.
media here. I would throw an ISB, you'd media, which is fine, and then I UCI here, then media, and then two other things. Like then the issue is like I secure this building and then grab power spots, but against your list it's kind of a bitch
Well, I'm not leaving
because you can
myself enough
convert my things
dice
into
to attack if
toxos.
I do
Hmm.
this.
So like if your list ran heavy media, it becomes kind of annoying because you force your opponent to come forward and take power spots.
Right.
Which is why like I think this list actually could probably do pretty well with media spam too,
Hmm.
because you draw them out of their own backline and then Sling User drops toxos on them.
Right.
I guess we'll push.
I
Caller
still think I'm not gonna go back on the media train.
No,
up.
I think I'm just. This is just kind of throwing speculation out
Mhm.
there. Like, if you, I think if you really want to like dump the two Tokyo Triumphs and run the
One,
two
two,
Monpos and just play
three,
Sling in
four,
the corners,
five,
like don't full line them. So just do base
four,
the bases,
Mhm.
and I think you can get away with it.
Right.
three, four, five, six.
Like it's like a
Industrial.
competitive build, but I think double Myriad
Five. No,
would
one,
work.
two, four,
Station to come back so I can actually paint all these units.
five.
Be naked.
It was weird not getting a Bastion land in this game because I think
I
in
saw
every game,
Yours
I saw
can go stick
opportunities, but it's just
to
man,
that for
it
their
wasn't worth
setup.
it. It wasn't worth
in
it.
every game that I play with this list, I've always gotten
And
at least like 2 or 3
kind of
Bastion
all I
lands.
can
It
do, so
doesn't
I'll
help
pass
because
turn to you.
my units were all over the board. You
Which
did.
usually means that's better, because usually it gives you more like
I mean,
vectors.
you
It
are
just
Right.
never came up.
Megacorps.
You
There's just never
I
a spot to throw into.
you spawned a decent. Well, you didn't really spawn that much.
No, I was a little bit lighter. Because
Yeah.
I just had the security bunker jur and like
And you kept
I
them
just had a
there.
little block over there and I kept
And
sending stuff up.
you just kept sending the
I'm
facility.
gonna
Yeah, I think
spawn a
because you kept
free.
sacrificing sending
Oh
things
no, I
up
can't
instead of
spawn a free.
Yeah.
more
Even
numbers.
with the UCI, try and
Which
cheap
because
it.
there's really no
Spend
point
one,
because like
spawn the
security
jet.
left side was weak over here because then you're just
And
gonna send up your
two.
shit.
Mhm.
And I just had to keep
Oh,
harassing. Even if it wasn't
two,
killing your stuff, I was blocking off 2 units
The problem is it
every
didn't
turn.
really stop me from powering up. It stopped me from having my abilities, but
Which I cared more about.
you
Stopping
certainly
you
got a
from your
lot of
abilities
PowerPoints.
cuts off
it
Yep.
really didn't stop the UCI the first turn.
No, I couldn't stop the first turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think yeah, if I had to redo
Not choose this map.
well, of course not choose this map. I think it would be better well, I guess it depends on your first turn, but I think I always do the sling play going up here. I had the extra dice just because I didn't have to do anything. But what I would have probably done instead of shooting the juror is it may have been smarter to just go to here.
Three.
Sorry, go to here and just shoot
Oh, I only
the
brought
ISB.
oh, god damn. I only brought one.
If I shoot the ISB, I just dump a unit right next to
Yeah.
the and then
Two.
start picking away the buildings
Mhm.
versus your jurors because you can keep respawning them.
Two
You
and
Yeah.
can't keep respawning buildings.
Yeah, but the
one.
thing is, like, if you took
Sure.
out this main corner, then
Yeah.
I'd be in more trouble.
And that's why I think slingers are probably
One
shouldn't have had
navigator.
dice to dump because I spent an extra 2 steps to get there.
Only
Right?
one step.
No, to get to the juror turn one.
Well, no, because
Two,
you have
three.
facilitator.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. The juror was.
Juror was where the toxic was.
4, 5. Wait. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I go to here? Shoot.
I guess you did.
Wait. Why am I mis?
Because the facilitator was here first turn.
Right. So I go to the range 6.
Yeah. 1, 2.
Oh, I'm like missing 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was here.
Mhm.
So, but instead I could have just been here, save 2 action die. I could have been here and just shot the building, dumped the guy,
Mhm.
dumped back. Following
Mhm.
turn, went up, shot that, dumped back, and now you can have a backline.
Right.
Like just play very,
Yeah.
very just slow and just keep dumping toxos into the backline now.
Right. Right.
The only downside with dumping toxos in the backline like
Is
that
you're
is
losing your
I'm
ammo.
losing ammo. But I guess the assumption is that you'd start getting rid of the toxos. But the good thing I guess with those toxos is they could start attacking things.
Mhm. Because they're gonna be
They're gonna
elites.
be elites and they're just gonna be sitting there
Yeah.
doing nothing else. They're just gonna start punching or sitting
No,
on
that
spawn
makes
points.
sense.
I guess sitting on spawn points maybe isn't that smart because they just get
I
pushed
think the
into
only thing
fire.
I would change in my list is just
Total
swapping
bomb
out
pack should get there
Propo.
eventually.
I love Propo, but you're not doing, I think, enough high value unit
I
attacks in
don't.
this list to
It
do anything.
sucks because like the thing is like against you doesn't
No.
matter. Against other people, Propo Walkers
I know.
game because of just messing with the
Yep.
dice game because there are more people who are more dice efficient than what we need it to be.
Yep.
So having the Propo Walker is what I need. But having the Propo Walker against you, I don't need.
If you cut out a Toxo, you would probably fit him in and
4
justify.
Toxos?
Oh no, you're running 6 right now.
No, I'm running 5.
Oh, I thought you were running 6.
No, I took 2
And
out for the duo.
God, for the duo.
The Spitter Soldier.
Oh, okay. I was about to say if you're running 4,
Berserker on your Albion.
Yep.
4's too light.
Yeah. Way too light.
3.
Uh,
Down.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I
Yep.
think if you play this
Didn't
pairing,
9. 1.
first look
you
like
want to
a
go on Calamity
super
or
strike, but it is.
River.
I like
And
You lose a red,
No,
you lose a blue.
that's fine. But I think those other 2 are really
Still
solid
should
because
hit.
there's a lot of ways of preventing
Yeah.
major damage spikes on those maps.
then
Period.
Boy,
White's
both
pretty.
times
And
because
there's
of
enough
super
like
strike.
mill field to walk around. But I also love the walking paths in both maps.
You
With
know.
units.
I do agree with you though,
Sometimes you roll one, sometimes you roll six.
Okay, river.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I can get first with a blit, I'm good with that. But I don't mind second with a
Calamity
blit.
second's a little scary. Because if you take Calamity going second, if you don't get this bottom right corner,
How,
you're in danger.
how would Destruction Junction be?
Destruction Junction's kind of neat
Because
because if
it really
you
makes Smog an interesting play to just jump in the middle.
well, the cool thing with Destruction Junction, if you we can't really show it here because we don't have like we had to move everything, but if you have like those two spots, it's four in the, or three in the middle, right?
Okay,
Because it's like
so
bush, bush thing, bush,
3,
bush.
4,
So
5, my
imagine
power
this
up.
is like
So I go
building,
to
or you know, I'll
9.
do it with rubble because rubble's easier to kind of visualize. So if you do it like this, right here, well, there's like a power spot like here, right? I think there's like a power spot. If
And
you
the doubles is one off each other.
yeah, but like conceptually it's the same. But like
Right.
the nice thing you could do here is like Sling can just kind of post out here the whole time, and just start shooting across and start dumping things back
Without
the
even
entire
crossing the
because
line.
he could shoot 6, right? So he could shoot across to the back here. So if I mean if he wants to, he could start just kind of hanging back and shooting, and you can never engage him because if they ram into it, you're dropping a grab it, assuming that you do something like this.
Assuming it's
Well,
assuming
actually,
it's not unless you purposely put like buildings that are fire. So
yeah,
can't
you would
do the
have to line
grab
them
it.
up more like this, like here or here. So
Right.
maybe you can't get the facilitator as much there. I would have to like pull up the map and
Yeah, it'd
look.
be interesting. Because like having the double wall here and actually
2
having Sling
step
have the
and
range
then
to
walk
shoot behind the
6.
wall.
The issue is you don't really have anything to do with glob. Because your turn one strategy before was just to run glob up the board and punch a building.
And there's not many. I mean, like for me there might because like I'll still play like what's it called?
Well, going
No, I
second gives you a
can't.
few more options, but if they just dump
Yeah,
something
that's
in that back, like
expensive
it'd
to
be
try and
the back
do,
right. Sling User could reach it. He's fast enough to get back
but
there and just throw something
I
at
don't
the building.
think I
But
have a
if you
better
jump back,
option.
so if this was it, one, two.
I mean, isn't Destruction Junction also like the best kind of
I think,
demolition spots you do?
let me see.
Or I mean, not demolition.
Step in,
What's the
land.
brawl one?
You're right,
Oh, I
demolition.
need
Demolition.
5 dice.
Because I remember you used to
Step
always just do that with Condo.
Yeah, the problem is Condo's quick or quicker
I
because like
need 6
if
dice
this was
step.
the
That actually does
opening,
work.
I think the opening on destruction every time if I pulled out the actual map would always be Globicus offset one, Sling offset here, right? Because you always want Sling gunning for the right and threaten demolish on the left. The problem is that your opponent's like, okay, well I'll just take
Instead,
a
I guess I
217
do
building on
have
the
to
front.
go in on
So by the time, even if I get an industrial, which assuming in a full
park
media
first. That
lineup is
sucks.
gonna happen, like was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you, at most you're throwing 3 action die into the attack, and by the time you do that, the double is actually lined up there.
Oh.
Right, so you get into this awkward like. Condo gets away with it because you get the extra speed.
And
If
you also have grappler.
I only do that play if I have
2 step,
industrial.
Right.
The 7. If you do it with
5,
6, it's just not
6.
Feasible.
Yeah, I
worthwhile.
can do
I
that
mean,
to
what
get
I would just
around
do with
you.
Glob is just have him go here and ping off the power spot that's here and just bail back. Or you have Sling do the same
Still
thing, but
requires
it kind of
having
depends on what you're
2
playing
step
into as well. If
go
you're trying to
in.
take the left side there or not.
Right.
2, 3, 4, 6
Actually, Sling on the left side is kind of nasty. Because if you have Sling on the left side on Destruction Junction,
to go there. So that doesn't
and you
require
just like
any
throw Glob
step.
up that side, if Sling goes over to here and just dumps a shot into the whatever leading building that is, if you dump it on here,
So 2
they
more
really
steps.
can't push it into a good spot. Like they can push it forward, but they're not like. Well, if it's a fire, that's bad, right? So if it's a fire, you don't do that
God, I
shot.
wish I could switch
You would have
a
to
myriad
sneak
out
up
with
like an
that
extra
high
like
rise.
2 and hit. But then again, the downside is that if it's all water, the unit
But
you
there's
well
no
no
way
you
for me
if
to
you hit a
do
unit
that.
on top of water, you can still place a toxo. Nothing stops you from placing on top of something.
I thought that it specifies adjacent.
Or we'll try
Can't be
that.
adjacent to your center.
No. So if so proliferate.
Try to just shoot the
Let me just make sure.
U-jet. Looking
Yeah, so
for
like, oh, it
a
is also
3.
yeah. So
This
actually, if you
one
shoot
right
the
here.
building, you could just dump the unit there too, and just fuck them,
See, if
run
I,
them there. Assuming they're well,
even
I
if
guess
I
your
kill
charge
that,
is
you're
here
still
anyway.
powering up
But
to by 3s. You're still powering up to
no.
9.
So say this is water.
I don't
Like
think
this
it
unit's
really
water, and
matters
you
if I
shoot
give
this
you that
unit.
10th
You
die
can replace that with a
by
toxo.
adding the red. It just gives me a 10th
Oh, because
die.
it's not a valid spot,
Yep.
so it pushes him on.
No.
So we'll
Which
do
one are
that.
you
No, he stays
the
there.
Oh,
So
yeah,
placement
that one.
effects, like it's the
Yep.
same logic with
I guess I
if
should
a unit
shoot the Abrogator or the Juror
got
instead,
placed
but
on the
it
fire,
doesn't.
I believe, right? Let me just
I
make sure
wanted
I'm
to
not wrong.
make sure I would hit.
Because
Yeah.
I thought that was a part of the errata of the whole meat slave Squix rocket thing.
Okay, so now
Let me
uh,
double check. Now I'm drawing a blank.
Gorg will try to throw Parkano.
You want to check mine?
I'm needing
Yep.
to hit a death 8, correct?
Assuming that this doesn't.
Yes, sir.
6, 7, 8. I need at least 8 left over, so the most I can do is throw 4 into this. So the question then is how many
I just don't remember now.
I need.
I believe that's how it worked. If you shot a unit on a invalid
5
spot, you could still
4 on an
place
8
them there.
is only a 70.
But I'm trying to remember like if
So I could throw all but 1 and get it up to an
yeah, because
85.
telekinesis is a move.
Oh wait, I
I
have the
think
reroll. What
that's
am I
why
talking
telekinesis
about? I don't
works
need
because you're
to do that
moving them
many.
into a hazard. So
Yeah,
like that's why like
154 is
for
enough.
example like
We'll go ahead and do
here
254
right like say I'm covering your spawn point and
Mm-hmm.
you bump spawn me, that's a move.
Okay.
on
But and a
Carcano.
telekinesis is a move.
Oh yeah, that's a good
But
roll.
I
Oh yeah,
believe if like
through
you're
through a
if like
12
a
into the
hellion
high
and I
rise.
shoot this and it replaces, it's a placement effect. And I don't believe places are affected
I get
by hazard. You're only
2 of
affected if you can
those
move into
back.
what you're colliding with.
Those
Placements never.
started.
So then what happens when you place? Do you just
Well, I think what
Zactor
happens
has
is like
4
say you're
dice
here.
because of
If you
the
walk
Comet
like
Shard.
here, then you would die. I'm pretty sure
Uh,
that's. I don't know if Relock's
I
still
definitely save
watching. I
1 for the
think that's how
reroll
it
just in case
works.
I
so
need it.
then did
It's
that
something that came up
so
recently.
so then what you're saying is for that placement that only placement if it has immunity.
Yes,
What?
Oh,
because it's not a move
I
at
don't
all
really think there's
or a
anything I
collision.
can
But
do to
technically
save
it's not a valid spot according to
4.
that
I
model's rule.
There's nothing that
definitely
stops you
just
from
throw the
placing
1
it there though.
white in on
That's
this.
I don't know if I like that.
Place. No, I mean
I
Yep.
get
At
what
least
you're
lets me
yeah.
saying.
So the
play.
question, I think
Yep,
this is
that's
the answer
enough
to.
to go
So if
all the way
you
over.
had like sling user like here, and then you had an enemy like
For 4 more damage.
So just
Hellion.
just
Yeah, no, it's
just do the
simple
question
one, right?
first.
So if you shoot the Hellion and you proliferate
Then I get
on
4 of
here,
those
you
back.
could place the Toxo in the fire without it dying, I believe. But if you move anywhere else into the hazard
So
after the fact, you die.
the question now is
So if he
what
walked
can I
like here,
do
he would die. But he could land in the
with
fire
Gore? Anything
because the
at
placement's
all
not
to
moving into it. You're
save
not suffering
him.
the effects of it, and you're not colliding with it either. Is that a new rule?
So wait,
I thought that was the whole thing where you can like land on top of like water now. Like I thought it was meant to stop.
because that doesn't then because then I'm gonna get confused for meat
Yeah,
slaves
that was
because
the
like
incubate because I thought that was the whole
I
thing with the meat slave rocket. Where am I
no
remembering this from?
because the thing about incubate was how the way I've always played is in order for me to
Either
move
way, I
into a
think he's
hazard I
powering up
have to
to
spawn something
full.
equal to ignore the hazard effect, meaning I can't spawn a taskmaster on top of it.
I don't really think there
It
is
has to be a
anything I
Squix or
can
something
do.
that has flight or ignores.
I guess you're
I
powering
know
up
what
to
you're saying.
9 as long as I stay next to either the UCI or the ISB.
Yeah, it has
That's
to.
true.
In order for you to make it, it has to be a valid placement
How
per
many
that
dice
model's
did you
rule.
power sync?
Where was I
Uh,
reading that if you like
just the. Oh, I should have power
placed
sync
it on top
too.
of like a water
Yep.
tile,
Yeah, let me
Okay.
it would
power
still
So
sync.
you are
shoot or
going to
impassable
full no
terrain
matter what
attacks,
I
but
do.
like then it would stay on maybe I'm thinking of impassable terrain. Is that the case I'm thinking of?
But
Is
then
impassable terrain,
that would
not
still
hazard?
follow the same
Oh,
rules
Still
because
stuck in that game I played with
you
Garrett
don't
last night.
have any rule
He
yeah.
that
kept
says you
killing
can
me on
land
Apple
on passable
games.
terrain. That is not a valid spot for
So
you.
if I were to step here, you could still kill me. You would just have to use your own backline to do it.
So what's the difference between maybe I'm mixing up the hazard thing with
That might
impassable terrain because
be the best
I thought with
option I
impassable
have.
terrain, yeah, you're not colliding with anything. You're not trying to move into the impassable terrain at all. So like what would be the same logic here if like she had a Hellion on water
So yeah, we'll do that.
We'd be
and then
fine because
it's a
That's
placement
duplex
effect,
anymore.
bad example.
Do
Hellion
what?
flight.
but I kill
I
you
don't know,
and you
duplex
fall into a
anymore.
toxo.
Oh yeah.
I'm not moving into it. I'm not using my movement there. I'm literally placing a unit there.
I thought the logic is in order
Oh,
for it
no.
to be replaced, it has
Well,
to be valid.
Where does it say
a
that
valid
though?
replacement.
Where does it say that though?
I don't know. That's how I
Yeah.
remember it.
Because I remember now. You're right with the collision. When you place a model, it's placing is considered collision now. But with this, you're not moving to the impact. Yeah, because I was thinking of old rules with hazard with movement only. But would anything stop you with impassable terrain with this firing off? And the only reason why this might be kind of important is like if you are doing destruction junction, you ping a guy on their water spot, and you drop a toxin in the middle if they put like a juror, right? And then you're able to clog it up.
I'm sorry, I don't think I'm following.
Oh, so like say like you had the double secure with the water on destruction junction. Hmm. I'm I'm trying to I'm trying to think why you wouldn't be able to.
Well,
Like what's the
like I told you my logic is
what it unfortunately that doesn't it's what's defined by Fey, right? Like that's kind of the
well that's the thing.
yeah.
The thing is, it becomes the thing that we think it is, but is it actually?
Well, let me read actually let me do it from my
I'll just,
computer
Because
actually.
would
I
that
mean,
not be in the core rulebook?
living,
Or
living the
I'm sorry,
dream.
shouldn't that be in the core rulebook?
Yeah,
Alright,
but I'm just trying to think like for
so
occupying the tile in the first place,
Because
it would have to
because
involve
it
the
isn't
movement.
a legal tile for them to occupy. That's what I'm
I,
thinking.
I understand.
No, no, I'm saying I'm reading what Relog said.
Yeah. No, I get that. I just but in
rowing?
terms of the impassable terrain, if it's
You only defend
involving the
8,
fact
right?
that they can't end in it if they try to move into it. Right? I remember now the
I
hazard thing
think
about
so,
placing. If
yes.
you try placing, you suffer the effects of the hazard. But with the impassable terrain, if you go there without moving
The
at all,
outreach, just the
like you
game.
land in
Everything
that water spot
two.
without like using a move, then do you bypass the restrictions of impassable terrain?
What
So
from a
you're saying if
time
you
to
place?
Place.
I don't think so because that's so.
Let me. I'm gonna read. Let me just double check.
That's just because it's still just technically not a legal spot.
What?
then
And this only matters for us because we're playing these fucking stupid
Yeah, which is
monsters. Because
still.
normally,
I mean, to be fair, it's still stupid that we have to run into this kind of rules
or a body
clarification.
slam.
see, this is where
Okay.
it gets kind of weird. Uh, maybe that should be a unit cannot
Hits
enter
into
these
the
spaces.
Montera.
What is defined enter?
Yeah,
This
that's
lets
what I
Is
me
enter
expected.
place? Is enter
lets
move?
me
Is enter
ravage
advance? Is
gun.
If
Enemy
I were doing
cycle.
based off the enter there, if I were like doing it, I would say
You get
no.
that white die back? Oh yeah,
because
energy
enter
cycle.
means everything.
Yep.
Like interpretation
Cycle.
wise, like enter would be no, but maybe that should be cleaned up
Arcanos
to
is
like
some
if they
absolute
stand
Move,
around
horseshit.
place,
You know?
Yeah,
So now I get to make a.
or specify enter means
for all.
no
a balloon.
possible
because enter. I think this is just like one of those remnants of like
war
enter.
machine.
No,
That's
No.
no, it's just one of
60
those remnants
dice.
of like different terminology being used, like damaged and destroyed
Yeah.
kind of thing, where it's like they mean the
I will be
same thing,
brawling.
but they don't
That's
technically mean like it's not
Yeah.
standardized across. So like enter, yeah, I can see like that meaning.
It's just literally verbiage needs to stay
Mhm.
consistent, or else it just gets confusing.
But yeah, if I had to rule that like in a like if
For
some,
enter,
I would say
Why
no, like
the
that
hell
wouldn't
does...
work.
Yeah.
I'd be able to place it there, but based off what I just read
Yeah, I
now,
don't see why
tougher maybe, but
Cart
like it says
gets
enter
6
specifically.
blues on
Well,
this
Relog
and Megagord can't
apparently
give
says
himself
I would
the
just rule it that way then.
yeah,
harbinger
I
shard
don't get
blow.
it either. Honestly, I really
Yeah,
Uh,
I
don't.
don't know if that would
6
be
I
is
worth
miss,
not
doing.
enough to hit.
but I still get
6 plus 4.
to
Steamroller.
steamroll.
To be fair,
But
looking at
one,
your reading, I don't
two,
even know if it's
three.
cleaned up at all.
Oh, does energy? Do I have to hit the energy cycle?
Putting quotes
I mean,
around
heck,
If you
it.
don't hit, you
quotes
don't
with
get energy cycle.
No, that actually is real. Yeah,
What?
I use too many white dice then.
And not only that, for an instance of like when people read enter,
So we're just
if
gonna
it's not for a decent
ram
scenario, I think the main
where we're
logic
at, I
as
guess.
RAI
UCI is
was
the only
intended
option.
is to
So,
be all of it.
Yeah,
looking for
I
a
mean,
7.
I can still
Or
step,
rules.
right? It's just,
The
I
only
guess that's true.
time that
yeah, like I would,
enter exists
if I
in
had
the
made,
context
if
of like
I
an
had
actual
succeeded on
physical place is if it's spawning.
that brawl, I would have stepped over to here and then
Which is
rammed it into
interesting.
Zaxor for another point of damage.
Because that's
But
not
Yeah.
spawning.
you know, I'm
Don't
not going to complain
start!
about like
Just
Don't
saying, we're
what is
start!
already a
throwing it
pretty
out there.
insane
Don't! I'm already
Nah.
pissed that
turn.
spawning doesn't work the way I like it. So
Well,
don't
you get
even.
the side grid.
Mm.
You get the side grid.
I do, but it's
Yeah.
just like it
Yeah,
makes
okay.
it makes it
Also,
complicated.
4 super
Yeah, there's
strikes in
just
there.
so
Would have been a
much you can
great. That would have been a
do. I
great.
just want to get
Wow.
everything before taking off.
Yeah, but it's such a convoluted
I could
thing
energy
to
cycle.
tell
I am
somebody. It's like,
choosing not to.
but
I mean, it's
why
kind of
don't
convoluted the other way too, wasn't it?
like
And I
really? Because
get
like
back
you're entering the
3
Yeah,
spawn during your
powers,
whole spawn phase.
You just say it happens simultaneously
and
and
that
you
is
just go on with it.
a Carcanos turn.
Or just say that you can like when entering your
Okay.
spawn phase, what you currently secure, you cannot secure
Yeah.
continuously.
Yeah.
Like a spawn phase
Activator.
has to be its own phase, and you
Mhm.
cannot continuously secure
Oh,
by just spawning something.
Yeah.
Because it's entering in a different phase of it that doesn't count.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
then
was
again,
just double checking if enter was an actual like. Well,
that just hurts my brain more.
the one thing actually,
Dragonite
the
and
topic that came up in the chat thing before in the Discord was like what to change. I think having like a I think they have it too, but like a keyword repository would be really nice.
Yeah, just like keeping like all the keywords that
Well, every keyword that's like they have
movement, advanced placement,
they
the
have like
three
this, right? Like, they
step,
have an index, but like I don't know, a keyword would be like a keyword
or
thing
like a
that
glossary.
yeah. I mean, well, yeah, I guess like index kind of fills it, but like specific game terms, not just like move what's
Like just a glossary of the difference between movement, placement, stepping,
well,
and
advance, full
advance.
advance, like just
that is
differences. Like that would be
Dragonite.
actually kind of a neat little thing to add on to
Yeah,
There.
because if they had like if they
the
had,
quality of life change.
it'd be so much easier just
Yeah.
to like if
Better.
you're having confusion about it,
Yeah.
you have a glossary to read which is which, what is what, and what follows what.
6,
Okay.
7. Cannot get in there, but if I put that over here, I can get in. Wait, what does the dervish have? Speed 5? Sorry, we'll do them like that.
Yeah. Comprehensive reading.
Excuse
Oh, were you muting me?
Yeah.
You could have just pressed the top.
Oh.
You
Do
forgot
that.
about that, huh?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I completely forgot I did
It's a
OBS.
nice quality to it.
I did OBS instead.
Mhm.
All right. We got a pack.
Yeah,
Not
so
yet.
I think we're gonna be ending the night early. But thank you for joining us
Are
for
you using those boys tomorrow?
the blueberry
Yeah,
boys.
I know.
I'm just wondering because
I
No,
painted
I,
your
no,
house.
there's no problem. I'm still very wary about bringing these guys out in the sun.
Well, here's the thing. I kind of wanted to bring the blueberry boys to test them out to see how well the inks hold up. Because the thing is, I've brought.
me.
Who's the one that I look? All these toxos have been in the sun, like those extraneous amount of
Yo,
sun.
you boys been cooking.
But the thing is, because of the colorant,
Yeah.
it doesn't yellow. And
Well,
even when it does
to be
yellow,
fair, they're green. So yellow kind of like
so
works.
I'm
with
gonna
them.
bring them and
Should I
see
bring
how.
these guys?
See, they're not gonna get affected because what's yellow on top of orange? Just more orange.
The pink's gonna go away.
Hmm?
The pink's gonna go away.
No, pink won't go away.
No?
What's yellow on top of pink? A brighter pink.
Is it?
Yeah, because what's the mixture of pink is yellow and red.
Yeah, trying to
Pink is
figure out a good way
better
to
white.
No, so
move these things.
you can also do yellow and red and white
And
to
white.
make a lighter hue of pink. So adding yellow to the mixture doesn't really change it much. It's these who matter the most because now the question is, if this resin yellows, it turns them green. But the thing is, this is the new
The anti
oh, I
anti-yellow,
have
and
grappler
also the new
still.
debuff
Oh,
I bought is
okay,
also
so
So
like
how
a
they
yellow
need
Hyperion
to be.
has to be down
repellent.
here.
So I wanted to actually
I
bring
got
these
Garrett
out because I
yesterday
wanted to
too.
test
Yeah,
them
I'll
out.
bring these
Really
guys too.
I mean,
The
I
thing
guess
is,
I could move
the
the
resin I use on
Druckmite
Potion
over
is an
this
old
way.
resin that doesn't have very
Yeah,
It
strong
also
Darkmite does
protection.
not have to
regenerates.
participate to be.
Well, that's UV
That's
resin,
the yeah.
so they don't have
God,
like very good
I
protection.
Yep, yep.
So, but the other resins like
hate
these
doing this,
bases
but I think I
are
have to
technically
give up
tested
that
for UV
PowerPoint
protection,
too
UV
for
repellent.
this.
I kind of like it because guess what?
It's a weight.
You don't knock them
Yep.
as bad.
It's a weight.
So which is nice for like say Cassandra
I
or
love how
any.
much taller it makes it than glob.
And look, if you actually put it on top of the things, you still see through them.
Okay, so
I
Chomper gets
actually do.
Which is
2,
really nice.
Hellion gets
I do like it. It
2,
just feels like
I like the height.
then the
the height.
Dervish
The height
brings
just feels
in
very like solid.
3.
My favorite thing again. Oh, whoops! They don't topple. They can't. They have a
Yeah,
harder time
chip paint.
topple. Well, that's the thing.
He's like, yeah.
So
Because they
3,
top, they
7
don't
looking for a
topple as bad.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, you don't topple for shit.
I have a lower chance of knocking
With
my
Don't
model
topple
over.
potential
for
for a
a six.
reroll if I
I will do
need
it.
it
I will
from the
topple.
guard
It's
base.
nice though. I
I
kind of
lied.
like the heft. But then again, it's because these are resin
And
models,
we
so
hit
they
a
don't
9,
feel the
so
melt.
no, I don't need it.
Yeah.
1 damage to Tark.
But I need to do that for
What?
standard. It's like he's a model who only has like 2 little twins.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
now we'll try
It's like,
the
don't fall.
Yeah, no, definitely after this,
called
playing Robocondo a lot.
Fabricator on the
Do you know
Berserker.
what scheme you want? Because I'm excited to
Okay.
paint him.
Yeah, one of the corporation schemes. But I
Unless
need to figure out what.
you want to paint him.
Yep. Oh god
Got
damn.
him.
A lot of
Uh,
super strikes today.
If I go
yeah,
like
I
the
know.
basic
You get
white
2, I
scheme,
get
if I do
1.
like the Google scheme,
That is
or the
my
corporation
I
turn.
can
scheme,
teach you how to.
I get
Because
2?
all it is you paint your
No,
white and then I'll
you
just
get 1, I get
stripe
2.
the
I
table.
said
Yeah,
that
I was like,
backwards.
wait. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, what am I getting
I'm
2?
yeah,
What
I'm
am I
using tape.
here?
I'm
Maybe
using
Okay.
tape
You.
this time because that's why I killed an Earth Knight. Because Earth Knight was looking sweet when I was doing them, and then I didn't tape it. And I tried painting over, ruined
Why
it.
this side?
you wouldn't tape him. I would say liquid mask him because you have so many curves that you want to cover.
What's the difference?
Liquid mask is
I just keep. Oh. I just keep going.
hold on.
Oh, you got a call?
Yeah. Liquid mask is literally a liquid mask that you can brush over and you'll get in all the crevices. So there's no chance of with tape you can like miss a sharp
Will that
spot.
replace primer?
As what's it called? As long as you fully let the paint dry or you just put a one
I
seal
guess
coat
technically I get hit
or just
and run,
one
don't
seal
I?
So
coat.
what if I do it on like prime?
Yeah, if you'd
Well,
like to.
I would do it on everywhere that. I would
Yeah.
hit everything
You
with
have to
white.
No,
base coat it
Yeah,
first.
I
can't
would do
actually
everything
go
with
over
white,
there,
and
can
I
I?
would cover all of the white areas, and then start doing all of the non-white areas.
Because
And
the
then
fun thing about liquid mask is it's
Mm.
like
I
paint,
gotta
so you can take your
swap out this
paint
RC
design
for something that's actually
and
gonna
then
do
peel
something
it
for
off
me.
whatever you like. So you don't
Hit
have
and
you
to
run
can
do
just
over
that.
use
here.
surgingly.
Well, that's why you seal.
Yeah, I mean you can just also like if it's something like Robocondo, which is a lot of like
Flat surfaces.
just tape, right? Because you can just put a layer of tape on and get away with it.
And yeah, I know what you mean.
All right, but I think we're done for tonight. We got to pack up all of our stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed the booger on booger violence here. Um, yeah. So and if you're watching, yeah, we're gonna be streaming Rooftop Rumble tomorrow. Um, we need to get there a little bit early.
You can do a computer, I believe.
Computer, please don't blow up doing this. Um, yeah. So we should be starting around 10. Um, do we need to change the view for this not to have? Oh no, we're getting rid of the hail.
And that's it.
But I need to.
You can widen the view or zoom out the thing so you can
We'll
just
see.
see the sides.
Yeah, because my fear is that we had issues clipping to. How did we clip to the table? Oh no, it was fine clipping to the table last time.
Yeah.
Because normally those card tables are really really thick, and like
But
those things
the
usually.
grip on this one are bigger than
Yeah, I
normal.
remember the ones we used to have before
Or
where it wouldn't be able
flimsy.
to. Well, it wouldn't be able to fit.
Yeah.
You actually couldn't open it long
Well,
enough to fit.
these bad boys are pretty.
Yeah. So that's
Oh, boy.
fine.
Not only that, we also have a tripod.
And we're bringing a second camera
Yeah, if
because
you
we're
want
gonna
that
record the whole
later.
event. So we're gonna set up like a
Yeah.
thing to show the event running too.
Oh, you want like a
Yeah, I was gonna
like an overall just to show
swap
everybody
this
playing?
again, but then I forgot
Oh
No, it's
boy.
simple.
Okay.
to see
No, it's just more
Well,
stuff to
the
pack.
problem is what? No, so it would just be the stand and.
And my camera.
Do we need the lights?
Thing is, if the event's gonna press past 4, sundown's already at 4.
Yeah.
We can bring 2 lights just in case.
I'm actually not concerned about the lights. It's the stands.
What's wrong with the
They're
stands?
just annoying.
Berserker onto the Navigator.
These things hit
Mm-hmm.
far, so you can turn up the brightness to full.
Oh, I'm not concerned about the light. Like,
Oh,
it's
nope.
just the stands are
Lucky
annoying.
hold
Just like
out.
the care put them like.
Okay
You
then.
can put them out of the way though.
Yeah, true. We could do
Hey.
that.
And it'll be nice to have extra light just in case a dialing needs it.
Okay, so that's
Yeah,
power up
that is
to
Because
true.
there's
full.
only only one light's around, so the two
Keep in
corners won't
mind.
get it.
So if we're running an outlet
That
or
changes things a
you might
little.
want to bring one of your big splitters.
I have one right in there.
Like a big boy, like a.
Let's move over
The one we
and
use for computer
throw
power.
you.
You might want a big boy because you're gonna be powering your
I need it
computer,
5.
the camera
We'll take the
battery.
one off the.
Because you're gonna be doing this, your computer.
We'll take off the one on the paint desk.
I would almost not even run your computer off the splitter.
Just main power.
Because I think on his roof he has the little
Yep.
thing on the wall.
Right.
But it's still drawn from the same
Minimum
outlet
5.
though.
Only get 3 blues.
Oh, we need to take the Ethernet cable apart. We need it.
Can't we just buy it?
Where?
Walmart. That's where we got this one.
Why not just wrap it up? Ain't too hard. I'll do it.
Because it goes all the way around my desk,
Yeah,
and I really
we'll
don't want to move it.
try
Yeah.
it.
I would rather just buy another one.
They're like $30, aren't they?
We bought that one for
That is a
20. That's
10
75 feet.
into this myriad.
I thought it was 100 foot.
No, 75.
3 damage.
Shit.
Yeah, all the way on the other side of the Hellion.
Well, a three kills him,
Good to hear
so
that. That is
Yep, that's what I was going for.
So
Uh,
not like
All
that.
right, we're gonna hop off for tonight though. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Au revoir.
This
now
show
it's
again
a question of
another
where
5 years.
I
It didn't take that
end.
well,
long.
Bye bye, everybody.
God, I wish I could easily, like rocket over to the ISB or something, just disrupt that,
you do have enough steps to get there if you
Yeah,
walk
it's
by.
just I we're in the 1v1. I need to, try to chain if I can, because I start down on health basically. So from where I am, I mean, anywhere I move, I'm looking at taking 3 damage. So I guess staying where I am is as good as anything else. So yeah, your turn.
Hmm. That's a power for 2, 3, 4, 5. Just 5? 6.
Yeah, there's not really anything I could do about it. So
Yeah, yeah. Not if you wanted to kill Karkanos.
no, yeah, I had to kill Karkanos or I'm 2v1.
Certainly don't go in on Robocon at this point.
No,
I think I just look. Yeah, I think I just come here, right?
probably.
And then I throw you into the common shard. Yeah, absolutely devastate that common shard. It's just on the far side of it. Certainly rolling my dice. Do I want to go anywhere else? I am only in line with the guard right now.
Hmm.
So I think I take that. I think I just stay where I'm at.
Okay.
Oh, help me. Oh,
Okay. I think I go ahead and take a monster turn. I power back up to full. Come back over here. Because I don't want to flip myself to hyper right now. Oh, and I'm going to have to UCI to switch with the guard base, aren't I? Question is, do I switch the industrial or the UCI? Think, yeah, I think we switched the UCI and the guard base, actually. Wait, I didn't count. 3, 4, 5. 6. Sorry, do you mind if I go and throw the other white
Yeah,
in? Or the other
go
red?
for it. Go
It was
for it.
enough to hit without, so
Yeah. The
into the UCI and the Moloch Brute.
3.
3 back and begs the question, do I try to chain again? I think no matter what, I need to step. Well, if I step anything, I'm looking at taking 3 damage and you get dice back. Whereas right now, it'd be 3 damage and you don't get dice back. But is there anything better? God, I hate to say this. That might actually be my best bet right now. Oh yeah, you got the tantrum. Do you want to do that?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna flip the clock to you for the tantrum. It's only
Probably
one
would.
space, isn't it?
It's 2.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yeah.
I thought for the longest time, just get rid of you.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I guess I'll just stay where I am and push, or say your turn.
Rocket League.
Yep.
I guess we just body slam you here.
Yeah, like I said, the best I can do is limit your ability to uh get reds back.
Yeah.
That looks like a hit.
Keep
Yep.
the 10.
Okay, so I'm now hyper. And I assume that was body slam to there.
Yep. It's the only place to do free damage. I
Yeah.
guess I could body slam you for 1. Well, I don't think you body slam you for 1 where do I want to go anywhere else? Well, once again, this is the spot to be in, I think.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, here. Well, hold on. Yeah, this is fine. No, that's okay.
Yeah, I think I just move over 1. Sorry, power up for 3. Let's see, I have rain. I have 4 blues on a blast now. Oh man, I forgot I had energy cycling alpha. Oh well.
Oh, if you want to take it, if you want to take the energy stuff, you have one.
I mean, it would be a net of 2 whites over the last turns, but it's not that big of a thing. I don't know. I mean, yes, I would like to take them, but I did forget, so yeah, I think we try to shoot the abrogator. Yeah, I have range 3. I can't shoot the juror. Uh, yeah, I know. You gain 2 reds for it. And I miss. Boy, is this
Ooh.
worth the reroll? That's
It's one red and a white for the reroll. That's the thing. Like,
I have
no,
2 guard
you're
bases.
securing it. Never mind. Yeah, I mean, a white, one white die for a red,
Yeah,
and you should statistically hit.
I should. I then punch the Uber jet. I go back up to full. I'm stepping 1 and throwing you somewhere. Boy, the issue there is I can't move afterwards if I do that. So I think I just let it slide. I limit my die and let it slide.
Yeah, I mean, you have plenty of power.
I do. I can still punch the jet.
Absolutely.
Definitely got the jet. See, I mean, I think now we have to step over here. It's probably the best bet. And then just throw you as far as we can. Because if we just slam you, it's not really doing anything. I don't really see any way for me to pull this one out.
I mean, I have to admit, that's what it like boils down to. Me,
Yeah, I know. I need you to miss. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is best I can do there. You're going to be able to get back to me pretty easily.
me and Alpha now.
Uh, can't get out of line with the Imperial, so I don't really know that there's any reason for me to step to there. So I guess I'll just push that die and pass turn.
Oh, rocket boot. You didn't step at all, right?
No.
I guess like there's an argument for stepping to here because then I have to step one more. Plus, if I put you in the building, I'm killing my abrogator.
I mean, I guess, but killing your abrogator doesn't really matter in this case.
Yeah, I'm just uh, just a just a
No, you
thought.
are right. There's, I guess, a slight argument for arguing to, or for saying step there, because then you have to save a white and a red for a potential reroll.
Yeah, then I lose that. But I'm spending enough here that with like one less white's not a huge deal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, hit.
So the only reason you do it is to or the main reason is because you're like at least when he throws me here he has to kill.
I
Um,
assume. Okay.
why would you? Yeah, because like I'm either killing my own juror or my own applicant. That would be the main. That's why I would think about
Yeah.
it. It's not like a significantly better option, right? It just
Yeah. Yeah. So as I
all right.
expected with this pairing, I think it has potential, but you have to have Zaxor die first.
Yeah, you want Zach to take the hit, but not like get one rounded, right? That's the other.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot I had the high rise now. I was actually powering up for more than that. Oh well. Okay, so I mean, chances are you just kill me on units, but I guess I can see what I can do, right? There aren't any myriads left, so that doesn't matter. May as well try to kill as many breakers of yours as possible, right? Because this is totally a tournament game with breakers. Honestly, I probably
That
don't.
is true.
Yeah, I know, right?
They need to change the breaker from remaining health to like health loss, and use like golf because you get punished for taking Incinerus in on your what the second breaker,
Yeah,
second
you
or
know,
third
that's
breaker.
not a terrible way of doing it. Um, I mean, I don't really see much I can do here besides, just harvest a couple of reds from things. So anything else I do is just putting a point of damage on Robocondo. Not that's really gonna matter much. Still, I guess I may as well take PowerPoint to go with this, and then I can just make these attacks a little cheaper, or a little safer. Okay, Taskmaster will try to fling the Berserker. I guess I'm using the 2 dice. I may as well throw the Avros attack in on that. Got the Berserker. Into the Uberjet. Got the jet. And then we'll try to put some damage on Robocondo.
All right. Oof, a lot of.
Yeah, looking for a 6.
Yeah.
Definitely got a 6.
Hey, put me into hyper.
Yep.
I mean, I'm just gonna guarantee that you're absolutely toasted.
Oh, well, yeah, I know, but what else am I gonna do? Your
Yeah,
turn.
you can't ignore it, right? This is my whole game plan with Robo Condo. Is late game, 1v1. You're on my half of the board, so I can do bullshit.
I know.
Fucking fun carnage runs.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I really wanted to go in on Robocondo first. I was right. I should not have summoned the Comet Shard. It wound up being in the way.
Yeah, I mean that's like I said, he is a puzzle.
He is.
All right,
Yeah, the
so
only
we're gonna.
thing I would say was maybe a mistake on your part was you covered your spawn point. Not that it really
Oh,
mattered.
yeah. No, I mean I had enough. Like, the one Carnotron was already spent. So,
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't going to matter. You were going to be able to get them around.
all right, this is two Carnotrons and the two triple apes in
You don't
the.
want to throw the Abrogator in for shits and giggles? I mean, you
I
have the whites for it.
I have I have four whites over here. If this misses right statistically with 12,
Oh yeah, I
412,
guess you can follow up with
uh,
the
yeah,
Carnotrons and the Abrogator.
the Abrogator Carnotron is as a pseudo reroll, right? That's the
Yeah.
because I get efficiency whether I hit or miss, right?
I don't know on that.
I know it has to hit. Whatever. I mean, what I should do.
I don't think the Brute has enough movement.
Yeah, it does not. Don't really have enough movement. Yeah, that's the downside of covering this long. Like, get something else closer, but whatever. I mean,
Yeah,
I got two attacks, plenty of dice, so yeah, this is
that looks
easy.
like a hit. 18.
All those people that were complaining that units can't do enough on monsters, on
Yeah.
monsters. Like that's over now, right? All these monsters that are just like
Yeah, and I kind of don't like that. I mean, a
it's
lot of us
not.
were saying we don't want unit apocalypse.
I mean, this isn't as bad. Like the fact, like you're not gonna take a road like this Robocano list, or and
Yeah, I
like
think my
I'm not
biggest
gonna.
issue with Robocondo is his 12 health.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's broken. His 1v1 is just absolute garbage, right? Other than what I'm doing, like that. This is how I 1v1 with him, right? Because we
Yeah.
fight on your side board. So if we were
Well,
over here knocking around, like you have such a huge advantage. So I'm like, oh well, you're screening yourself, and all I can do is punch you for one.
and when we were in the middle, I wondered if I should like move over here, throw you back towards my side, and yeah, sure, I'm doing nothing, but I am putting you around the Hellion Chomper Dervish. I also thought about just, hard swapping between them and just throwing enough whites on Zaxor to go in with those four
I think with like
over and over.
the power base that you had, putting me into your back line is like the most obnoxious thing for me because you have plenty of guys where I have to spend a couple turns disrupting that you can afford to like get some chip damage in. I think it's like it's part of the meta that I think we have to kind of explore because I know a lot of the guys that like
It is because we were duking it out here. So if I think you were there, I would have had to take a damage to throw you back here.
and I
And
think the flip side of this is if Zaxor dies first and Robocondo dies first, even with like all the bullshit tools that Karkanos has, I don't. Gorgadra's gonna like
yeah, the Mega
has like a lot
Gorgadra.
of. Yeah, Mega Gorgadra's gonna probably poop on me because he's
Yeah,
like, oh,
and
you're near a comet chart, take super damage.
yeah,
Oh, you're in my, here comes a million speed chompers to hit you for extra damage. So
yeah, I
like that, I
honestly
think,
probably should have moved Zaxor, stepped him forward, and had him in front with Megagorg
and
behind
that
when I
was
was over here.
one turn where my dudes were like kind of chilling here, where I positioned it so you basically had to go in on Karkanos instead.
Yeah.
That was the way to do it. That's that was
Yeah,
all
well,
intentional.
and that's what I should have done with Zaxor is have him in front of Megagorg, so you had to go in on Zaxor.
Yeah,
And sure, you're taking Zaxor down to Hyper, top of Hyper, but okay, fine. I have 3 attacks now.
yeah. He can kind of just either sit back and like clear units, or brawl blast ramming a building.
Yeah.
absolute. You're just killing my whole back line.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
over here. I could have just effed off with Zaxor, who has high mobility anyway, and just, come over here, destroyed, maybe punched the ISB over into the Jur, shot the Abrogator, and, I don't know, punched the Outreach.
Yeah.
And then Megagord could have just come down here and thrown into the UCI and said, okay.
I mean, definitely. I think it's just part of learning to lift, right? Like that's
Yeah.
just figuring out what's going to work.
Yeah, it's one of those things
Yeah.
where I think it's possible, but Zaxor is still Zaxor.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, he needs to be in the DU so bad. He needs to be Yasheft.
He is real bad. It is like I know we all make fun of Garrett and Nova, but like Nova got like if she had straight like normal boost dice in alpha, you wouldn't
He'd be
like bat an
fine.
eye at what Nova does. Yeah, you'd be
No,
like,
yeah.
okay, she's gonna blow up three things in alpha, and then in hyper she's gonna shoot you or two, right? Like
Yeah.
that's
And
or something else.
if they just left Energy Cycle on Zaxor's Hyper, I think it would be fine. But going from having Energy Cycle and one attack to having 3 attacks and no Energy Cycle is just kind of bullshit,
Yeah. He could probably use like a unique special ability also. Like, I mean, again,
Yeah.
I don't know how you look at Hurricaneus and you look at Zaxor and you're like, yeah, these two are comparable fucking monsters. Like,
Yeah,
there's just no way.
I know. Like, Hurricaneus pissed me off so much when I saw it.
I hear tell that the new flower monster is basically just better Nova. That's what Garrett did, like.
Yeah.
He mentioned it like offhandedly. He's like, I'm so upset about this monster because it's just better. Yeah, so I'm like, it's like,
Yeah,
could always be
like
worse
that.
though. Could always be worse.
I think I mentioned this, but I forgot I was actually powering up for 5 on most of those because I had that high rise. I was counting guard, industrial, and oh, oh god, I should have been powering up for 6. Oh well. Because yeah, I guess that would have let me throw you back there. I could have energy cycled and basically had 9 and uh 9 whites and threatening to power up to 10 reds, and you're on my side of the board. The issue is you could just basically run back over to where you were, so I would have to do some stepping to drag you out of that area.
Yeah.
But if I had just stepped over to like here and or even here and forced you to attack me from one of these sides, which I thought about doing and I should have done. Because either way, I'm forcing you to leave yourself open to more threes.
Yeah, that's definitely.
So yeah, I should have thrown you back
Definitely.
here, stepped over here, and said, okay. Because then, yeah, you and I are trading threes, and then I have the units
Well,
dealing.
fighting like it is weird to me that the meta, well, not the meta, but like it's a real consideration now that you want to fight late game on your side. Before it was always I want to fight on my opponent's side because then I have power.
I mean, it kind of depends on the monsters.
Yeah, for sure, but there's a lot
There
of
were
monsters.
some that I really wanted to fight on my side anyway.
Yeah, I just run Phobos, man.
Yeah.
And I think once people unlock Mega Gourd, it's going to be pretty disgusting. I'm gonna wait for better players than me to kind of figure some stuff out.
Well, I'm gonna try him at least in pickups for a while. I don't know, I kind of want to try this list in more pickups before I pass a final judgment on it. I also kind of want to just not do this list until after the DU to see what the hell happens to Zaxor.
I mean, they've said that he's on there, right? Like, has
Yes,
that been
Faye
confirmed?
is confirmed Zaxor is on there.
He considers him the worst, huh? Him and
Yeah.
Concord. That's ridiculous. I mean, it makes sense. I think like
I really don't see how Robocondo has flight. That thing should just have high mobility. It should not have
um
rockets that can sustain it in the air. It is way too
yeah,
big
I
and
know.
heavy.
I'm not gonna question it. Like I there's part of me that would be like, yeah, it'd be awesome if it didn't have flight because then I could just step into fire to activate all these fucking buffs. But
Yeah, I know.
he doesn't lose anything. When,
I'll
like,
be
loses
honest,
camp.
my bigger issue is that he's got 12 health and flight. If it were like 11 or 10 health and flight, I
Yeah,
don't think I would have an issue with it.
no, he's all gas, no brakes. I mean, like I said, his biggest weakness is the lack of 1v1. You know,
Yeah,
but the way I run my Robocon is I'm like, all right, well, just you're gonna get Carnatron. If you're ever on my side of the board, you're taking two.
yeah.
'Cause like I said, if you were at 2 health there, that hit, and then I attack you with what would
The
be
two Carnatrons and the Abrogator.
uh, Carnatron and an Aberdeen, and five light dice, right? Because I would have got one back from efficiency.
Yeah,
So, 5, 8 into your 8.
yeah.
Gross. That's disgusting. Yeah, 5, 8 and 83. So almost the playtest assume it hits. Yeah, that's a 9. Yeah, after I beat down Hurricaneus with 2 Triple H and 2 Controns, I was like, yeah, this can work. Like
Oh yeah.
he's really strong. The, the second Triple H rolls 4 dice against her. Oh,
Wow.
well, let's say any other
Wouldn't it?
flying monster.
Shouldn't it have lost one too for the though?
If you have only one model loses
Hmm.
the combined. So
Wow.
it's not as I thought it was all initially, but it's not as bad as I was afraid of. But
Yeah, I thought it was just like Disruption where every model loses a
no,
blue.
it's just I'm told it's just one. So that's what Relock said.
Uh,
Next
that
TTS tournament, get ready for him to run that prom court bullshit. That list is disgusting.
hmm. I mean, I assume Relocked would know. It does say attacks made by models without flight, but I don't know. Does that mean if you have models with flight and without flight, and as long as something with flight leads, the attack does not lose a die?
I would assume so. That's the way it sounded to me
I mean, that's the
when he
only
was
way
saying,
that that's the only way it could only be -1 blue in that situation,
yeah.
which is odd. Not as busted as I've been reading it, but still.
Most of the time again because when she was came out, and even now, like, unit attacks aren't super common. There's
Yeah.
only a couple of unit generals that most of the unit generals were in factions where you didn't their units sucked anyway.
Yeah, I mean, your unit general that actually attacked would have been like Voyaka Rogzor combos, or,
Wasn't letting
well,
me.
I guess Boyaka combos. Hey, Reluct.
The
It's
answer
also not
is
real.
only the attacker is the model affected by air superiority because
Yeah.
it only cares about the attack itself. So actually, if you like attack Hurricaneus with a flying model leading the attack, it doesn't apply at all.
Hmm.
Yeah, totally worse.
Huh. My stream chat wasn't updating
Yeah, it says that I'm
in
reconnecting
OBS.
to chat.
Well, no, I mean in OBS, it just wasn't loading because apparently Armored has been saying stuff. I clicked into the participant or the viewer menu and then clicked out, and suddenly I had chats. Sorry, Armored.
didn't even know we had an audience, man.
Yeah. Well,
I was just listening to you talk shit about my amazing list for the next TTS
I'm
event.
not talking shit about the list. The list is absolutely amazing. I said it's utter bullshit to play into because it's fucking. It's like
to be
even
fair,
if
I
you
feel
do
like a lot of
well,
the recent stuff has been utter bullshit to play into. So, I don't know.
that's. I mean, models you should feel good to play a model. Right? It shouldn't be a chore. Like when you pick up Zaxxor, you're like, oh god, here we go. You should be like, yeah, here we go.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
I mean,
I like the challenge, but at the same time, yeah, it can get really hard, and especially when you're seeing all the new stuff and how just absolute bonkers powerful it is compared to the old stuff. That can be a little bit of a feels bad.
I mean, I get that. I actually like, for the most part, I find Annie pretty much a chore to play. Like, this is the
Yeah.
only list I would consider her in because she is facilitating the fun part for me.
Yeah.
having a million blue dice, that's the fun part.
No, it's all the unit moving.
Oh yeah. That's true. Yeah, I mean that list is like
Is
depending on
Annie
what
the
they
only protector monster with Blitz?
The only one with Blitz.
Okay.
Pterodax is like the closest other version with Toe.
Yeah.
you don't want to run Titanic.
No, I don't.
Active.
And you only get that in Hyper. It's
Hmm.
terrible.
Awful. It's awful.
I mean, there's Tyranix with Scatter.
I like Tyrannix, but it doesn't like. I want that unit movement. I want that hard. That's the part of the game plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Um,
yeah. We'll know if you're if you can put your money where your mouth is once Hurricanius gets nerfed, assuming she still keeps that ability.
yeah, if she keeps Blitz, I would probably. Although, like, I'll probably drop off the list after an event. Like, that's been pretty common for me. I've been
You
like
gotta change it up, play new stuff.
I've been flitting around pretty consistently. There just hasn't been something in the meta that I like love
You
enough to
also
stick
get
with.
Yeah. I know
beautiful
what you mean there.
models. By the time we get stuff that we're all excited about, you've like done a couple more than a couple games with it. So
Yeah, I mean, even beyond the playtest, right? Like, I just play so many games.
yeah.
Like, I'm still averaging probably like 4 to 6 a week.
Wow.
Damn, bro, that's
I'm
crazy.
generally, I don't
That's
know. I
like
generally struggle to get one in a week. So,
if I get like 4 to 6 in a month, I'm like, that's a lot of month. And that's
Yeah,
with the tournaments that I go to. Like, it's
yeah. I play a lot of games, right? So it's just I'm burning through lists so fast.
hey, nothing wrong with that. There's again for us, it's all the new stuff coming out. But what's the secret to unlocking Mega Gorg?
4 comets.
I don't think you were on
yeah,
at the beginning. I don't know who
I
was on, but
really thought about doing 4 comets.
It's
I
four
was
comets.
Yeah.
I was
I
in
did
like
3
utter
this
awe
time, but
that my comments proc is bullshit too. I was like, wait a minute, what?
yeah, he was like, wait, I have to either place a rec facility or a comet way the hell off on the side.
And then the other way I was thinking about the comets with Gorg is you think about them like medias, right? With the
Yeah.
coverage areas.
Yeah.
Um, so you're looking like, where am I getting coverage for glow? Where am I getting coverage for radiation? Um, I liked using comet drop to like set up extra power attacks
Yeah.
or whatever it's called, right? Like just pulling a damage vector out of nowhere. I thought
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was like
Yeah.
my favorite application of it.
Well, the hard part of that is looking at it, I didn't realize until I was running him that that's only on the unit spawn phase. Unless I misread the card this time.
I, you know me. I have so many versions of shit in my head.
I know.
What did the actual one say?
The one in release info says once per
Well,
turn during the spawn phase of
Ah,
your unit activation, you may
different.
replace a thing. Yeah, I was thinking at first it was just once per turn. I was like, oh, this is fantastic. I'm like, okay, this is not as good as I hoped.
still strong though. Like you
It's
have to
still
do a lot
strong,
of forward
but
thinking.
you can't just pop something out of nowhere. You have to broadcast it, which kind of stinks.
So yeah, but like the big advantage is against like a list like Corgis, right?
Yeah.
Where he's like trying to run you out of damage sources as the game goes
Hmm.
on, and you're like, nope, we have infinite of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
When I don't know if
they give
Relocked, I don't know
dwarves.
if you were here for it, but Corgi did mention something I might try is you drop one in your back line and go for the insurance scam on it.
Yeah, I don't hate that to put one back early.
Yeah.
Although honestly, like that list fights so good. Destructomites fight so good under Mechagorg
I
or
know.
Megagorg.
One,
Like
two with flank. Yeah,
yeah, they're Shadow Riders for one cost. It's insane.
I know.
So good.
And
Iron
in
Magni,
Alpha, there's speed 7 with all terrain, which
Yeah,
actually makes them better than Shadow Riders.
they don't have sprint, but like we're close. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I like loaded up on Destructomites. I was bringing like a Tech Chomper and maybe a Tech Chomper Elite just because like 4 boost from a unit is pretty substantial,
Yeah, I
right?
did two chompers, two Destructomites, one crawler, and an Explodahawk.
See, I was doubling Explodohawks too
Okay.
because Speed 7 Explodohawks with 4 boost is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I didn't have any Chomper Elites. I just had the regular Chomper.
I don't
But
hate an Elite. It rolls 4 boost. It's
I
pretty
know.
nutty.
I
it's
did think
gross.
about that.
Yeah, I think like I said, like again, late game. I think you want to be fighting on your half of the board because
Oh, and
your unit damage
that
is
reminds
just
me, Corgi.
so reliable.
There was at
Yeah,
least one time where I said, "Oh wait, I don't have high mobility anymore." Zaxor was giving them high mobility. I don't know why I
uh,
suddenly forgot that.
I mean, I know there was a couple times where, or at least once or twice, where Grappler was part of the reason where it was like you got to go all the way around.
Yeah, that was only the Hellion.
I love Grappler so much now. I'm like,
Yeah.
never knows, man. Both these monsters. I don't know that this list together is necessarily like great, but it's super fun because both of these guys are fun.
I mean, it seems good to me.
It's got like very noticeable weaknesses.
The lack of a conventional 1v1 is
Yes.
pretty
Yeah.
spooky.
I have done the or come real close to doing the Karkanos Dream Viper turn where he gets to do like body slam brawl into a ram. Like both
And
times I've
all of
done it,
it
the
putting
ram has
damage on
been
the monster.
the ram has been always to disrupt the power base at this point, but like I think
Okay.
that's arguably more important than the extra damage, unless it's a
Yeah.
kill shot. So it is. Oh man, Karkanos is again. He's like Sling User, where he's just so obnoxious that you have to deal with him, but it's like not worth the effort to deal with him. It's like he's basically like main core chat, you know.
Yeah.
Throwing shade, eh, Corgi?
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a, none of those. Most of those people are not bad. There's a couple.
So Relock, how many aggregators do you run in a Megagorg list?
Um, one, maybe.
Yeah, see, I was thinking of one, and I wasn't sure. I had room for one more unit. I wasn't sure what to do with it. I wound up
I love
throwing a second abrogator in, but
I love living in a world where like we're like, oh man, the aggregators make the cut. That's
I mean, with one specific monster, right?
I think there's a couple unit gens that people are like, I
Well,
don't
I mean,
need to take 3 out of the loop.
Megagorg, Robocondo.
I don't know who I would cut Abras from a Robocondo
Yeah,
list.
I'm still
Yeah.
taking. Well, I'm still taking at least one. Two. I got 2 here. I don't know about my single juror choice too. I was kind of regretting that. But
Yeah.
at the same time, the list is tight.
God, I had so many misplays. I kept forgetting Power Sync too.
These triple oops are so paint job. Is this the official paint job or is this a
The
On
silver?
Robocondo?
no the 8 bots?
Oh, no, I'm
No,
pretty
that's
sure
a
that's...
colorized.
Yeah. Those were one of the ones that
Check.
never got an official paint job. Or at least not yet.
I don't know why people are still like so fucking mad about Grizzy.
Yeah, I don't either. Grizzy's a lot of fun to play. He's a giant dog deal with.
A lot of people can't get past aesthetics. My friend that works at AMG was like, he's like, I am actually upset that that's coming in the core box. I'm like, yeah, don't even worry about it. You just don't play. Like, yeah, I'm not going to. Like, he wasn't like upset about it, but you know, he like
I don't.
he
I don't.
doesn't think he doesn't think it fits the aesthetic of the giant monster, which is that's fine.
I mean,
Whatever.
that is a thing that you can believe. Like, I
Yeah.
will not fault you. My complaint is more that like this like anti-furry thing that keeps
Yeah,
accompanying it
I
is
don't
like
get I don't get
so
that.
fucking done. Like
it is.
we've been
Like,
through this.
Yeah, that's the part that confuses. Why is it an anti-furry thing? I know like the furries have a lot of bad blood for, you know, the negative portions of that community doing stuff, but it's
Yeah, I don't know. I cut any community that managed to kick the Nazis out like some pretty serious slack.
yeah, they kind of
yeah.
reform.
Yeah, I
And
hadn't ever heard about Nazis and furries.
There
I've
was a
never gotten
big man.
why in the internet, which is entirely based on people with random ass niche fetishes, why is this one such a problem for people? Like, why
4chan.
do you care? Yeah, and I know the answer's...
Which is funny because you would think that 4chan would be all about the Nazis at this point.
I mean, I think if furries had been like a little bit later of a concept that hit their understanding, they probably would have been.
Yeah, no, I think it's the same thing with Anglex. It's because they were one of the first ones people really started finding out about.
Drill cut.
No, that still upsets me. I would be
I
less
mean,
upset about us getting DrillCon and not getting Anglex than the other way around.
I'm an Anglax stan
I
as
know.
far as
I want
the two of
Anglex.
them.
I would rather play with Anglex, but we've had the community asking for DrillCon so loudly for so much longer.
Is it the community though? Because like when those two pieces of art were shown, Anglax is the one that people rallied around.
Yeah, but they rallied around it because it was the first
I know
one.
we as a Discord have a couple people that are like super into DrillCon, and I'm not. There might be more. I don't know what the like. Obviously, don't take my word for what the community wants, right? I just
Yeah.
I would assume though that because Anglax got shoveled in, that at some point a mole is going to have to come out in the near future to like make up for it. So
Yeah.
I would assume 2022 is going to see a mole monster.
Yeah, I was gonna say like,
I mean,
didn't
I was
Faye
assuming
say something about them being
2022.
on?
I don't know
Sorry, go
that
ahead.
I don't know that she did. I know that we've all said 2022 we should almost certainly have a mole and a triton.
I
Yeah,
thought that Faye had said something at some
I
point
know.
about like the trickle factions being on like alternating years for release cycle.
I know. Tech
Mhm.
always says that if he was the one that designed it, this would be 2022 would be filling out the trickle factions.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the way I would do it too. I mean, Tech and I have obviously had
Um,
that conversation a lot. Like
but
that
Yeah.
is
that's that's not like any that's not like
No,
And
that's
I would
not
agree.
PP saying it. But
That's
I,
exactly what I would do too.
like I said, I thought that Faye had said something somewhere about like, hey, this is the trickle factions are on like an alternating year release, so we didn't get one in 2021, but we did in 2020, so it should be one in 2022.
Yeah. Well, it should be because they did bugs and elemental this year, and then so next year should be. I don't even know why there's trickle factions.
I would end that concept this year, right? Like we got fourth monsters for everyone. I would blast this year with like classes factions, obviously, and then the trickle factions, and just like fill this up.
Yeah, that's what I would do. And I thought when Faye took over, she said she didn't like the concept of the trickle factions, so I thought we were going to get rid of them anyway. But I don't know. And it may be that Faye's just having to burn through the roadmap concept that Oz had before she can do something like that.
I would not be surprised if that was the case.
They should honestly do away with the whole every faction needs the same number of like. It wouldn't bother me if like Guard had 7 monsters, but the other faction only had 4.
Yeah, I would like end factions when they're done, right? Like don't go forever. We don't need that shit.
And if one faction lends itself to having more, if there's space for like 9 guard monsters, do 9 guard monsters. I mean, granted that probably favors someone like me who loves UCI because you could make a UCI monster out of literally anything. So
Yeah.
Well,
Well, and
at the same
yeah,
time,
I
it's
don't
like,
know. I would have an issue with it if the monsters I really wanted were one of the factions that just only ever had
well,
2 or 3.
well, I'm saying like they have all the base from 1.0 to build from.
Mm-hmm.
Do most of that, obviously like you can do stuff like Parkanos, so we don't need Crustacea anymore, and
Yeah, I
that kind of
think
thing.
in some form we need I think in some form we need all of those to come back.
I
Just
would
because
say
there are
that
people who are going to be very vocal about I want my 1.0 favorite back.
Look at Jeremy Prime and his dirt funk,
Yeah.
I would say that like there from PP's perspective, there's no way they don't give us all the 1.0 stuff
Mm-hmm.
over time, right? Like those are art assets that are already done, so like a portion of the cost of producing a model is already complete.
Yeah.
They're not making very many new art assets.
Well, and
very much
those art assets are done, and we know they know there's a community that demands it.
This Kickstarter proves that there is a huge 1.0 community that was just waiting for it to get in the game.
That's waiting for a cheap buy-in.
Yeah, and now that the
Yeah.
cheap buy, like I said, I don't know what the licensing agreement is, so I don't know what PP's plan is, what the Mythic thing is going to be. I don't know where this game does it become a board game and with a yearly release, or does it stay monthly release? Who knows? But like all those 1.0 fans are going to want their garbage back, and that'll at some point.
I think having a yearly Kickstarter for the hobby stuff that comes out with, a 1-year delivery time means that if you want to wait 2 years, you can. If you don't want to, you can go ahead and buy the stuff immediately.
Yeah, like I'm not converting over
Like,
to the board game plastic. I like the quality of PP models. And I
people,
also
yeah.
like having things,
Well,
because I
and
want to play competitively.
I want to use the
people
stuff
like
that I've
us are going to
painted.
keep doing
So,
it. I know, like the issue, because they're kind of splitting. Like I don't know where PP's going to stand on this, but because like there's stuff that I would buy, right? Like if the Kickstarter didn't exist, I would buy models that I probably won't because I'll be willing to wait for the Kickstarter, right? Like some units to fill out a unit list or a couple buildings that I'm like, those are cool, but I'll wait for the much cheaper. And I don't know if that's like going to hurt PP's bottom line enough or
So
yeah.
I think that you not buying a couple models because you'll pick them up in the Kickstarter instead is offset to PP's mind by like they will onboard a certain percentage of the people who just buy in on the Kickstarter, right?
Yeah.
Like there is a non-zero number of those people who will become hobby gamers as a result.
Well, and
And
there's
then they're
also
making
a
up your
non-zero that will just buy extras of things like the shard because one of the Kickstarter models needs more of them.
And also, like they're also collecting all these sales or money from people who would never buy in on the hobby version, right?
Yeah.
Like it's all still in the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
it comes up positive for them.
I think a lot of this depends on what the licensing agreement was,
Yeah.
and how much. Like, if PP didn't do a good licensing agreement, they might only be making like pennies off of this comparatively, right? They could be pulling in like 50,000, which is not a lot.
No, and if they only took 5-10% from this Kickstarter, I think that was a really dumb decision on their part because they did most of the work. Like they'd
Well,
already done all of the work to make these models. They'd already
that's
done
like
the
if
work
they
to
did
play test
if
them.
all if
Well,
all PP did was like, if their licensing agreement is just, hey, here's the STLs, here's some art assets, give us $50,000, the rest is yours, which is, and as long as you're making X number of sales per year, which is very much what the license agreement could have been, like, then that's that's what I'm talking about. Where, hey, Mythic is gonna put PP out of business doing better than them.
Yeah.
At their own
I would be shocked if PP, like it's not like PP hasn't been down the Kickstarter rabbit hole, right? Like this is
Yeah.
not uncharted terrain for them. So I would be surprised if they made a deal that bad.
I would be too.
They've done licensing like this. Like, if they were basing it off of their Kickstarter, and I don't know how Matt Wilson, who's the one who makes all these decisions, considers Monpoc, right? Like, because for the first year and a half of Monpoc's life, he kind of didn't consider it, from what I understand,
Yeah.
and then it kept them afloat, and he was like, "Oh, Monpoc's a thing," but we'll see. The Kickstarter might have been a one-time only thing too. Who knows?
It might be that PP sees this and they're like, cool, I guess, like, I don't know, they could maybe try like an injection mold, right? Like kickstart injection molding all the Monpoc stuff.
I mean, if we're being pessimistic about this stuff, being worried that they're gonna take over the Kickstarter and do worst job of it, which I don't know how you do.
Yeah, I that does not worry me.
But we'll see what happens. Like I said, we have at least, well, I say we have at least a year to figure it out. Lord knows the way Kickstarters and these companies run it. Like 4 months from now, Monpoc 2 Kickstarter. Get
Yeah,
ready, all the more new stuff.
I can't imagine it'd be 4 months from now.
They will absolutely, like, a lot of these. I don't know if Mythic is that unethical, but like, if this was a cool mini or not Kickstarter, they'd probably already be planning the next one. Got to milk this fucking property.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, I don't know what the licensing deal is either, but I would definitely, if I were Privateer Press, I would have been pushing for we get some percent, you get some percent, and maybe that's 60 Mythic, 40 us, but we've already done most of the work. All you're having to do is take our stuff, make molds, and start making plastic from it.
Yeah. Like, all the real work was done by.
Well, and you have to, promote it.
I would say if I was PP, I would actually be a little bit choked at how Mythic has